What is up, everyone? It is Mick Manhattan here with an all new episode of the SnobNation Morning Show Live. Hope you guys are all doing really well. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy St. Patrick's. I tell you where my mind is at tonight. Happy St. Patrick's Day. And above all else, I want to spend a special happy birthday out to a very wonderful human being, if I say so myself, the madman Casey Plott. He is coming very soon. He just let me know that he was going to be a little bit late. So I'm letting you guys know. And I just want to say, everybody give him a happy birthday today. Send him well wishes on, social media, things like that, through the Scene Snobs or over to him. And let's just enjoy it. Let's get into it. Let's have some fun with it. So Casey should be here very soon. Let's see who's in the comments, shall we? Jason Taylor. What is up, buddy? How are you, man? Thank you for joining us. Everybody who's joining in, of course, this is Snobs Nation. So we appreciate you. We love you. If you're new to it, please embrace the absurdity. Come check us out. Join up. We got our Discord. We got everything else where we all just sort of connect and have a good time. And it's just filled with a community of wonderful, wonderful people. So, we're kind of getting there. Like I said, it's Casey's birthday, so we're excited. We got a special guest coming on at 8 a.m. That I promised on the show a couple weeks ago to tell some stories. So that should be really fun. I don't know if it's fun for me, but it's going to be fun for you. So make sure to stick around for that. Hopefully everybody's doing all right. If you guys are in the here we go. Happy birthday from your black friend Sturdy, Casey. That is awesome. Yeah, Casey and I have capped the weeks. My birthday was on Monday. His birthday is today. It's just a very nice way to kind of spend your week, and we've been floating in it, so it's been really good. And it also happens to be St. Patrick's Day. I'm wearing my green. We're having a good time. And we're just going to keep going with it. So, sound off in the comments. Let us know how you guys are doing. Thank you for joining in. Great morning from your black friend Sturdy. You really love it. You love that. Now, if you guys don't know, Jason Taylor and Sturdy from Three Geeks podcast, respectively, and Horror with Sir Sturdy podcast, they have become the Scary Snobs. And if you haven't checked out their show over on the Scene Snobs YouTube channel, which if you're watching this now, make sure to hit subscribe, hit like this video. So go check out their show where they're talking about horror, all the new things, and a lot of other fun stuff too. Last night was their 5th episode. It's usually Thursdays around 10 p.m. You can join in, watch it live in the broadcast, or watch anytime after that. But it is a great show, and I appreciate them. So it's Horror Night with the Scary Snobs. So hopefully you guys are enjoying that. Stuck in my mind. What's up, buddy? How you doing, Wise? How are you? Good morning. And like I said, everybody, Casey's coming. I give him a little leeway. It's his birthday, man. He's coming in. He's going to come in awesome. He's going to come in hot. We're going to have a good time with it. Doing great, man. Waiting on breakfast to get here and a burger and fries. So you're having breakfast and a burger and fries are coming? Or the burger and fries are for breakfast? Which begs the question. Is that okay? Should we be doing that late in the morning? This early in the morning? And I'm going to say, yeah, why not? Go for it. I'm so glad to hear that, brother. The new logo you put up looks really awesome. And I really dug it. So, I want everybody in on this. I want everybody to remember how special today is. Is this the day where we remember where St. Patrick drove the snakes from the land? No, we don't give a shit about that. No, that's whatever. Wear your green, drink your beer, have some fun, pretend to be Irish, whatever. No. Today, and dare I say 40 years ago today, a legend was born. And that legend grew this almost Greek mythological level story where a certain madman hit Earth running and he never stopped. Some call him the Gazelle. Some call him the man with the golden wiener. Some call him the God's honest, true American patriot. I call him my friend. Happy birthday, Mr. Madman Casey Plott. Welcome, buddy.
Good morning. How are you doing, bro? Thank you for that glorious intro approximately 40 years ago.
Hey, man.
That was good.
How's your birthday morning so far?
Well, I'm here. So that is definitely as far as I've gotten.
That's very fair.
Yep. I was struggling with that first alarm. I set one. I only set one. I was like, I'm setting one for 6:15. If I wake up, cool. If I don't, he'll call me. Sure, you called me, and I popped right up. Like you called me, and I was like, "Hey," I was like, "All right, cool." It was perfect. But then I had to go potty, so sorry, I'm a little late.
It's all good, man. It's your birthday. All is forgiven. We have a special show planned, man. We're going to talk about a lot of fun stuff. We have a guest coming on at 8.
Ooh,
yeah,
exciting.
And he's going to tell a little bit of story about St. Patrick's Day.
Fantastic. I mean, it is a glorious day.
It is. I made fun of it kind of when it comes to the opening. I do like St. Patrick's Day. It is a lot of fun. I don't go out doing the drinking anymore. I just can't handle it.
Oh, no, I don't do that anymore. Well, I don't like to drink anymore. You know this. Yeah. We've reached a point in our lives where it's like having a beer's cool or occasional glass of wine or something, a little celebratory. But yeah, man, when it comes to St. Pat's, I just can't do it. My liver would not be pleased with me.
Yeah, no, those days are over for me. They were fun while they lasted, but it was just like, nah, I can't get on that level anymore.
Exactly. And everybody who's out there enjoying St. Pat's today or planning on going somewhere and imbibing a bit, remember to please be safe, y'all. Take care of yourselves and take care of all the other human beings out there so you don't kill anyone.
Exactly. That's a wonderful sentiment. And I second that motion. Yes, be safe, everybody, for everybody's sake and your own. Mm-hmm. We got Jason Taylor says that is a good breakfast. That is the breakfast Sturdy. So Sturdy is getting a cheeseburger or burger and fries. He says, I don't know if it's cheese, and that's his breakfast.
Okay.
I say that's a perfectly fine breakfast if you're going to bed right after. Like you had an all-nighter. And you're like, I'm going to jump in.
Because that's a capper. Yeah, I believe that's a capper. Yeah.
So would you say that could be and now for the freedom's sake, of course, it's a breakfast. You can eat whenever you want. You're an adult. Do whatever you want to do. And I don't judge that. But for argument's sake, just to have some fun, would you consider a burger and fries breakfast?
Well, that depends. Because here in America, we got freedom. When you got freedom like that, you can eat whatever you want. All right. So I don't want to hear no one talking nothing about not being able to eat no burger and fries whenever they want to, because it's America.
Okay. All right. Listen, Sturdy. I can't do it. I can't do the joke I was going to do, but I just have the burger, man, and enjoy it. Sturdy would have appreciated the joke, but I just don't want to be that guy.
Well, St. Patrick's Day.
It's going to be more teaching. Is it going to be a teachable moment about this country that, let's say, like states like Texas and Florida don't want you to teach? I'm talking about American freedom.
Would it be busy keeping you awake? Well, that's the funny thing is when you look up where like Canada being a much freer country than we are right now, it's kind of hilarious being like, because we provide freedom for natural resources as America. It's kind of what we've done. So I'm waiting for us to look up north and go, hey, we need some of that freedom. We're going to come give you some freedom to get your freedom. Right?
Yeah.
One day. One day.
Is it sad in our adult lives? I'm 41, you're 40 this week. Woohoo! And would you say that it's sad that for the second time in 41 years span, I will say just from that point, we've both seen banks fail and get bailed out?
Yeah, twice. Multiple times. Yeah, in different decades. That's cool.
I want to point this, actually, not to take away from what we're talking about. But I want to point out something, Sturdy. I always thought you should be free. I'm not saying that. So it's not a now thing. I'm just happy you are.
Free
And
at
you can
last.
do whatever you want.
Free at last. Dear God Almighty, we're free at last.
It's like saying the wrong things all the time, just at once.
Right. I love it. Let's just keep piling on. What else can we throw out?
I run a show.
Oh, Lord. I have been to the mountaintop. I'm just going to throw in random excerpts of famous speeches. Can you name the speaker?
So go back to the banks real quick. I got a funny story for you. So I'm driving with Tommy, and Tommy's dad and stepmother work for a bank. I don't want to give out any of their information and stuff, but like they work for banks, and
here's their address, and here's
here's all their info. No, of course not.
No.
But Tommy and I were talking, and the radio was on, and they were talking about the banks and how the banks are in trouble and blah 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 on the radio, and he started asking me questions, and I was just and at one point, like, the questions got to that point where it was just kind of like, it's that moment where it's like you either just shut up or you just tell them the truth about like how life works, and
right.
it went to a point where it was like, yeah, the banks are they're just terrible, man. They're just terrible. That's what they are. And he's like, oh, really? I was like, listen, no. I was like, the people that work for the banks aren't terrible. Well, the higher, and I did it just like that. Well, the higher ups are, but, and I'm like,
the top level's kind of crappy. Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, dude, my mother worked for a bank for like 50 years, dude. It's good. It's all good, brother. Like
my mom was a teller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I telling, I was like, if I were saying that everybody that worked for a bank was bad, I'd be saying that about my, grandma, and because he calls her grandma, but I'd be saying that about grandma, and I'm not, of course, that. I'm not saying about your dad or your stepmom or anything. It's not that. It's that the really higher ups in the bank that own them make all the terrible decisions, and it affects those people too, all the people that work for them. And that's what's happening kind of right now. I didn't really give them the full specifics because let's face facts, I don't know the full specifics.
I mean, that's fair. And there's like, it's right now, it's Silicon Valley Bank was the biggest, but there's another one that was, I believe, in Colorado that failed. So, or another, it's happening all over. But we're still insulated from a lot of things. And the world banks have been struggling anyway.
Yeah.
And this happens. And unfortunately, that's part of the speculative market that certain banks decide to flit about in, doing offshore investments and whatnot. So that's why I feel like credit unions are a much safer way to go. Not the best way to go, but a much better avenue. So
that's why I just keep all of my money under the mattress at Casey's house.
Yeah. I'm going to find it one day. You're going to be in trouble the moment I find it.
And it's literally like hanging out of your bed. You've just never thought to check under the mattress.
It's bills in between, just sticking out. And I'm like, that infernal Mike, you got me again. Darn it, Mick.
He didn't even bother to put it under the mattress. It's just on your bed.
In duffel bags.
And you've just been sleeping next to it.
I tell you what, this new super pillow Mick bought me is amazing.
I like how kind you are to me and my bank account say duffel bags. Not mini brown paper bag that you still very, very much have a lot of room.
That's really an old McDonald's bag that was used. That's just stuffed.
Bills are flat, right?
Yeah.
So much room.
So much room. But I want it to feel like dead presidents when we talk about banks or how much money we have in our bank account. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I took all my money out in pennies, I can load up a couple duffels or something.
I do feel like dead presidents, but it's the beginning of dead presidents.
Yeah, you remember Vietnam.
Join our Patreon.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Sturdy says, "How was that birthday poop?"
Delightful. Thank you. That's what I'll be honest with me. I ain't scared to talk about poop. We all do it, and it felt great.
Yeah,
It
I
was
bet it's good.
delightful.
I might have one drink some evenings, but I cannot do what I did in the decade. That's true. Even idea of waking up in a bathtub again makes my spine scream. Oh man, maybe we should have AJ tell that story too. That's right, everybody. My brother AJ Manhattan is joining the show today to tell a story at 8.
Oh, snap.
The story I promised, the Marine helicopter story.
Yes. Oh, it's been so long. It'd be great to see AJ.
I had to qualify it with him. I called him on the phone last night because he was texting me. I was like, "Hey man, did you want to come on the show tomorrow and still tell the story?" And he was like, "Yeah, man." And he was like, "You had some questions." So and immediately I'm go, "Hold up, I'm in Shazam. I'll call you later." But it's my fault for texting him right as I was walking into
while
Shazam.
You're going into Shazam. Yeah.
So I was like, "I'll call you." He's like, "Okay, man." So I called him. So I got out of Shazam at 5:30. I called him at 9:46 last night.
Jeez.
I was so busy when I got home.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, dude, I gave him the whole spiel. I was like, "You gotta be good, man. It's my business." Like, no. Like, right at that, man. I was like, this isn't my job, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Sturdy, do you sleep? You seem always to be. You really do, Stern. You seem to always be awake. I love it.
It's amazing. Sturdy's got like some sort of super constitution where I imagine he sleeps like a bat for 10 minutes a day, and it somehow like super revitalizes him. Or he's got some sort of like sleeping chamber where he can just he gets in and like it slowly closes, and then all the steam hisses out of it. And then he's got like, you look at the face and it's like frozen over, but it's Sturdy's face and it's always twisted and contorted. He's like,
it's that thing from Empire Strikes Back that Darth Vader's in that just kind of like opens up.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. He just turns around and does a show from there.
And he doesn't even turn it around. Like the chair automatically just turns towards the camera.
Yes, exactly.
You remember Inspector Gadget?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you remember the Claw or Dr. Claw or whatever his name was?
Yep.
And you only saw his, very nice. And you just saw his hand.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that's Sturdy. I imagine that Dr. Claw is Sturdy. But that's like when he's not Sturdy on screen.
Yeah, when he's not being Sturdy. So right now, he's not got a show. And he's like, "Hello, scene snobs."
He's trying to foil Inspector Gadget's plans at the moment.
He's a very busy man. All right. He's got a lot going on. There's all sorts of different investigations he has to have going on. He's always trying to figure out where Penny is so he can kidnap her.
Oh my god, dude. And she's gonna foil his plans.
Every time.
And then he's like, "All right, time to start the show," and he takes off that Thanos type gauntlet.
Then like he actually just opens a little button and the cat door opens and slides right out so the cat can leave.
That's true. I'm sorry, that hit me the right way. Oh, what's John want to say? Bail out banks for millions, if not millions of dollars. No problem. Forgive 10,000 student loans. Hang on, y'all like that American way.
Yeah, man, we're not okay with that.
Free market. You know what, everybody? Just stop paying them. Just stop paying them. Go to collection. Let's if everybody does it at the same time, you're going to tear down the credit system.
Oh yeah. Well, that's what Fight Club is. If everyone's willing to fight at the same time and join together, we could tear down every system that we hate.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't want to be
Never mind. I don't want to be. Don't listen to my plan. Just do as you said and pay your bills and shut up. I don't want to get in trouble.
I'm gonna start a riot over here. Be like, it's my birthday, everyone unite! Workers of the world.
If a power struggle ever hit, I'd be Stanley Tucci from the Hunger Games.
Aha! Welcome with Katniss Everdeen.
I'm just in it. Like, I know this sucks. I know this world is bad, but whatever. I'm wearing a suit.
I'm here now. Look how fancy I am.
They made my hair blue for this one.
Yeah, I'd be dead. I'd 100% be dead because I'd be those independents all day. Be like, get me to the outer rim.
Oh my god, dude! They'd be like, oh, talk some sense into Casey. We need him on the show, and it's like, I'll do my best, man, but he's kind of on this freedom fighter thing.
We'll go remote, and it'll be you as full-on Flickerman, just like, hello, everyone.
Whiten his teeth.
And then we go to me, and I'm like on the front line in a bunker, like, hey, what's up, guys?
You're over with.
I got to be careful here. Oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine.
Jason says the old ad guys bit that we did on Tuesday was amazing. Oh, thanks, man. We had some fun with it. There's a lot more of them too. We might have to do the rest.
Yeah.
Fred Carroll's there. He says I'm a big fan of Cooper.
Because it's amazing. I hope you're doing it now. Remember to stay regular, folks. And if you're of age, go get your butt looked at because prostate exams are important.
That is true. Very, very true. Sturdy says that sounds dope as hell. That you're Dr. Claw? I know.
You have an amazing story. Why did you lie to us, Sturdy, and never tell us you were Dr. Claw? I don't understand why you would keep. I thought we were friends. I thought we were cool. That's the kind of stuff you put in Discord. All right? Jeez.
Because what do you need to take over the world? A sturdy claw.
Oh, what? Look at that. That was good. I just immediately went to, well, look at this. Yeah, it's flat as straight as an arrow. Looks great. It's like, yeah, this is my shooting hand.
I love that. There's so many lines in that movie that just are truly amazing. But that right
Absolutely.
there.
Absolutely. My favorite.
Just the delivery of it. Oh my god, that was such a beautiful movie.
Gene Wilder for me is probably one of the comedic actors I emulate the most. Like in my mind, when I try to do something that I think's hilarious, I try to do it like Gene Wilder. Did I say Gene Hackman? I'm sorry if I said Gene Hackman, but I knew he definitely meant Gene Wilder because it'd be a lot funnier if Gene Hackman though.
My comedy style is just like Gene Hackman.
I like to be like the birdcage. Gene Hackman, he's my favorite.
It's just me dressed like I'm in Hoosiers yelling at people, taking a drink from a glass. And it's like, this is comedy, folks.
I'm going to talk to you about Lippins on our stallions.
I don't know. How am I not on Saturday Night Live yet?
I thought everyone would call it funny.
Oh my god!
I have the most power. I am Jack's righteous indignation.
John Watts says he is.
Yes,
Dan's here. I'll be in the bunker with the madman.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Dan. That's
not me. I'll be selling out.
Or buying in.
Underrated Hackman movie. Welcome to. It is not. That's why he retired.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed Welcome to Mooseport. I thought it was funny. It's no Crimson Tide, but it's pretty good.
It's a complete other Like if you're gonna compare Gene Hackman comedies, I'd be like, Welcome to Mooseport. It's no Birdcage or it's no Royal Tenenbaums, and I feel like that fits. You're like, it's no Uncommon Valor.
Because hey, that's Patrick Swayze. That was an amazing movie, and I laughed uproariously the whole time when they're coming in on the when they save everybody and everybody's all skinny and like you didn't laugh. You didn't laugh at all the weird clothes they were wearing? Like, oh, you still have rags on. That's silly.
So who did it better, as in saved Vietnam POWs? Gene Hackman in Uncommon Valor, John Rambo in First Blood 2.
Or Charlie Sheen in Hot Shots Part 2.
That's fine, but I was also going to say Chuck Norris in Missing in Action.
Ooh, Missing in Action's another good one. That's great.
That and Missing in Action 2 were on TV the other day.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
It was so odd. Because remember when we were kids, WPIX played that like a lot?
Yes, a lot.
I learned most of what I know about Vietnam from Missing in Action and Rambo movies.
It explains so much.
I just honestly, there was a point in the 80s where movies made me truly believe that like every soldier became a POW.
Every one of them. They
Like,
all did.
I'm like, how do they have so much room for everybody?
How big is this northern Vietnam? And Hanoi Hilton? Is that Paris Hilton's family? Is that where they started their money? Did their enterprises come from there?
I'm not gonna lie that if I heard that and I knew who Paris Hilton was at the time, I probably wouldn't believe that they said that one out.
Viable.
Best Chuck Norris movie, Lone Wolf McQuade. What are you, insane?
I mean, that one's pretty good,
It's good,
but it's no Delta Force.
Yeah, Delta Force.
Delta Force was dope. What was the other one where he's on the? I just remember the scene of him being on a bridge with an Uzi on that little.
Oh my
bridge.
God! Invasion USA.
Thank you.
Yes,
Invasion USA. Yes, sir.
It's so. Do you remember the premise of Invasion USA?
Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you.
Please, I am really excited for this.
So a Russian terrorist, like he has this whole terrorist network, played by, I can't remember his name, but he was in a ton of stuff as a bad guy. I'll figure it out later. So he's being hunted by everyone.
Mm-hmm.
So he teams up with the Cubans to overthrow America.
What?
So they invade the USA by invading Florida first. And they almost immediately, yeah, I swear, shit you not, they storm the beach, dude, of a resort. I shit you not, they do it, and they successfully do it. And it's, if you watch the movie, it's weird because it's like the army's still around, like the National Guard's still around, like, but like they're taking over, and then like in huge chunk, like they take over Miami.
Okay.
And so Chuck Norris plays a guy who actually caught him, or almost caught him, but killed his brother or something, so he hates him. And he's now living in Florida, in the Everglades.
Matt Hunter.
Who?
Matt Hunter is his character's name in that.
Oh, makes sense. So like when everything happens, he gets in his, he puts on his best denim sleeveless shirt, grabs his best Uzis on his shoulder harness, on his double shoulder harness, gets in his black pickup truck and starts killing terrorists all over Florida. That's the best.
Because it's what you're supposed to do. That's how you do it.
Until you reminded me of that movie, I was thinking, oh no, it's Walker, Texas Ranger Trial by Fire.
I just want to find out okay, so what, Braddock Missing in Action 3?
It was a 3, yeah, I remember. It went from like poignant first movie where it was like, we got to save the POWs in like late 70s, early 80s, to, oh, this is action movie potential. Fucking Stallone did that.
Wow, man, this is ridiculous. Do you remember A Force of One?
Yes, I do.
One.
Good Guys Wear Black.
Yup.
The Octagon, I think, is one of them.
Octagon is one.
I
do love Sidekicks. That was fun.
Sidekick. Yeah, Jason Taylor says, no, Dan, we all know.
Mm-hmm.
No Karate Kid ripoff, right? No. Now it had Richard Mall. That's the gym teacher. Everything was a Karate Kid ripoff at that point.
Exactly. And then he came out with something completely different, like Code of Silence.
It was not. I promise you, it was not different at
With
all.
Henry Silva.
He went through
big bad.
He went through a heavy kung fu phase.
Oh yeah.
Jason Taylor says that's the only Chuck Norris is in his head. So more of a no retreat, no surrender ripoff. That's true. That if nobody's ever seen No Retreat, No Surrender, you must see No Retreat, No Surrender. Dude, Bruce Lee pops up in it. Not the real one.
Yep. Nope. Not who you think.
Remember how they used to, after Bruce Lee died, they like got all of these Asian male actors to come in, and they would play a Bruce Lee and be like Bruce Lee starring him, but it's like Bruce L.I. or Bruce like L.E. or they changed it up just so much, and the guys all kind of looked like him, and they were trying so hard to push out the next big Bruce Lee star in martial arts movies.
Oh yeah, they were pushing hard at that point.
Yeah, and Chuck Norris sort of took the. It's like, you know what? No, there's no other Bruce Lee, so I'll just start doing the movies. Apparently, was it See the Maniac Cop ripoff? Yeah. Why do I know that?
Yeah, Silent Rage.
Oh, there you go. Silent Rage. There you go.
With Ron Silver and Stephen Keats.
Ron Silver. Remember he played the bad guy in Blue Steel, the Jamie Lee Curtis cop movie?
I love that movie. Blue Steel is one of my favorite Jamie Lee Curtis movies. Straight up.
It's a good one. And the cool part about it is Clancy Brown plays like a straight up good guy in it.
Exactly. And that's one of the reasons I love it. And one of the reasons I love Clancy Brown. Because I always liked Clancy Brown.
Yeah. Because
of his voice. But when I saw Blue Steel, I was like, this man is actually a really good actor. I like when he's nice. And then I followed up with Pet Sematary 2, and he wasn't so nice.
He was not nice.
He was a little different.
Well, the thing I liked about him in that movie is like he actually looks like a leading man. Like they let him look like, somebody who's going to lead this movie as a male love interest to Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yep.
And it's funny because like the Ron Silvers are generally that, like he was like the straight lace, and even that movie he plays like a Wall Street guy, well dressed, well kept, like beard is all in order, and Clancy Brown's cop character is like disheveled, but like he's like a good looking disheveled with like the long hair that looks nice. Yep. So it's like a really funny twist that you did that. And I mean, I'd love to talk to Jamie Lee Curtis, who is now Oscar winner, about it, but I want to talk to Clancy Brown.
Of course, I want to talk to Clancy Brown. I mean, I specifically go out of my way to watch movies and television shows just because he's in it. That's like that terrible, what was the awful show we watched on Fox? Was the Halloween one, Sleepy Hollow.
Yes. Sorry, I was trying to get back to it.
Yeah, and he was legitimately in the first episode, and that was it. And then he had a recurring in like episode 6. He was back again as a memory.
He added validity to it.
He did, 100%. And once you see Clancy Brown, I'm like, well, I believe in it. That was a mistake, of course, but
I mean, I would say we get Clancy Brown, but I don't know. At some point, somebody else is going to get him before I do.
Oh, Dan has giant news.
Wait, where?
We found out something. Maniac Cop was not, in fact, the first Maniac Cop.
Maniac Cop is a ripoff of Silent Rage. Oh, my God. Maniac Cop ripped off Silent Rage, preceded by 6 years.
How about that?
Well, I mean, that's the thing, though, because you had the Dirty Harry movie. Was it Magnum Force, where it was like 4 or 5. It was like a team of like cops who were all about
the dirty cops. Yeah,
the dirty cops that would go out and like murder. And then at one point they were trying to murder Dirty Harry because he was on to them. And I actually loved that almost like that was a juxtaposition of each character and where they're at, because like Dirty Harry's always considered this, and they're even saying to him like, oh, are you on the squad, like, because you belong there, and he's just like, no, I don't believe in what they're doing. He's like, I'll kill somebody, they pull a gun on me, I don't give a shit, but like I'm not gonna like kill unarmed people. I do believe in the law. And I liked how, that's the one thing I really like about the Dirty Harry movies. There is growth in the character throughout all of them.
Yeah, I could see that.
Any one movie, no growth whatsoever.
No.
But a little by little in each movie he grows.
And then you get to the point where he's, driving a bus through town as an armored vehicle trying to protect someone rather than take the lives of those he's after for vengeance and justice.
That's the Gauntlet. That's not a Dirty Harry movie.
It's a Dirty Harry movie. There's no way the Gauntlet is not a freaking Dirty Harry movie.
Right,
I don't even care if you
change
his name 1,000 times. It's absolutely a Dirty Harry movie.
All right, it's a Dirty Harry movie.
It's my birthday, and I'm claiming it as Dirty Harry movie.
All right, listen, we all get one birthday wish, and you just wasted yours.
But the Gauntlet is now officially part of Dirty Harry canon, so I feel pretty good.
I love it.
Another great Chuck Norris movie is Eye for an Eye.
I don't know if I know that one.
When he has to go up against the drug smuggling ring, Chinese triads.
I don't know. I don't think I saw that one.
Yeah, I highly recommend it, bro. It's old as all get out, but I loved it. 1981.
I enjoyed that stuff back in the day, man.
Oh yeah, man, it was a hoot.
Like, not even just back in the day. Like I enjoyed it. I still enjoy like a good kung fu movie. I don't watch like Chuck Norris as much as I used to. I think it's Walker kind of ruined that for me.
No, Walker ruined it for everybody. You're not alone on that, because it became such a parody and such a joke. Like, yeah. I remember watching the highlights. My favorite was, remember Conan O'Brien with the big like the giant pole, like he would always, the handle the lever, there it is, a lever. Yep. And he'd pull the lever down and watch another terrible Walker clip. I mean, the show had almost 8 years. It went on. It was on for a minute.
I would even say more than that.
Crazy.
Walker Texas Ranger. I gotta look it up now. Yeah, it was on for a long time, man. Like, it started in 93 and ended in 2001. So yeah, 8 years. All right, sweet, dude. Mm-hmm. I remember the last episode being this big thing where like Michael Ironside led this team of like superhumans.
Yeah.
And they had to go up against Team Walker. It made no sense.
I 100% remember that, because that was the one where they had the random beautiful house out in the middle of nowhere blow up. And then I started to put it together and realize there were a lot of random beautiful houses in the middle of nowhere in Texas.
Fort Worth, man.
Fort Worth. Just
some rich people were like, I want a bigger home. Blow this one up.
It's 100%. They were like, you know what? We need to get rid of this one. Yeah, just blow it up, man. If we don't need to reuse it.
Call Walker, see if they want to blow something up on this week's episode. Oh, Serty says, I made the right choice with this breakfast. Very nice, buddy. Very nice. Is it cheap? Burger? Happy birthday, bro. Broptimus Prime.
Yeah, what's up, bro? Cephas Rex.
I'm out.
Welcome to the old Loudy with Foudy crew.
Trying to figure out the bro. Like, we do it, but like, this is like a next level.
Potato chip.
I love it. Bro-tato chip. I like that one.
Yeah.
Dude, I getting all this Chuck Norris talking is like make me want to watch some kung fu.
It should. And then maybe follow it up with the Gauntlet. I mean, anything that was Sandra Locke and Clint Eastwood was pretty solid. I have to say the Sandra Locke movies were probably my favorite of his. Play Misty for Me.
Yeah, that was his. I think she was his wife or his girlfriend at the time.
I'm pretty sure she was for a little bit there. I'm always curious of that. Who was he married to?
I don't know. I believe it was her, but I'm not 100% sure. To tell you the truth. All right.
Eastwood's wives, wives and lovers.
Uh-huh.
Oh, Maggie Johnson was the first one, and
Okay.
she was the one from, I believe, Play Misty for Me.
I don't doubt it.
That was 1953 to 1984. Wow.
Well, yeah, I mean that's its starting out days. I could see that.
So was that Scott Eastwood's mom?
No, Scott Eastwood's like 28, dude.
Oh, so that would be Dina Eastwood, whom he married in 1996.
Yeah, I have no doubt. It's gotta be. It's gotta be Dina Eastwood. I don't know
love it. It shows Clint
Jacqueline
Eastwood's.
Reeves.
Oh, okay.
How many women did he marry?
Oh no, he was married to Sandra Locke. Yeah, from 1976 to 1989.
God damn. Dude, I'm not trying to bash on Clint Eastwood or anything, but like, isn't he Mr. True Blue, American values and Christian values?
Oh, I'm sorry. He was with her from 76 to 89 while he was married to Maggie Johnson.
Yeah. See, so my case in point.
Yeah.
Mr. True Blue Republican. We gotta spread more good values in the country. I had 6 wives and mistresses for everyone.
Notice how most of them are all divorced. Almost every single one of them who are up there screaming, hooting, hollering, talking about, do it the right way, American values. Yeah, most of them are divorced. Most of them are lascivious pricks. You're usually closeted people who just won't come out and be honest about themselves. So they got a lot of kind of different problems.
Yeah, that's true. So they just want to take it out on others.
Yeah, exactly. They want to feel superior to others, so therefore they just put them down. And the louder you do that, if you do it loud enough and shake your hands a lot, people won't recognize the stuff that you're doing. So,
Really? Is that true?
No, but if you try it, it'll make me laugh. And that's really all I care about.
Listen, Casey. I can't do it. It's too early. Oh my God.
I'll get you. We'll get you yet. I'm going to get you good.
We're going to get you canceled. Casey wants his Friday mornings off, so he's going to try and get me canceled. Sounds like
never. We won't have none of that. None of that wokeness around here. I'm in the middle of my cheating on my 4th wife with my pool boy, and I refuse to have anyone give me any sort of messages about, being moral, because I go give money to churches.
I promise you too, it's not. It isn't a wokeness. It's something more rare, honestly. It's called common sense.
Ooh.
That many people
heard of
just
this.
don't know anymore.
Yeah, that was a book.
It was. Few.
I remember that common sense. There's that guy who wrote that. That Thomas Jefferson or one of them.
Flesh out the innocent with a side of blood of virgin sturdy.
Yes, enjoy the flesh of the innocent.
That pool boy goodness, woodness goodness.
Nothing like the strong dong.
Now there's a twist: the husband and wife cheating with the pool boy. Listen.
Ooh, hey, what a twist!
The pool boy, pool girl, whoever's in there, just jump in.
Yeah, just have fun, man. Go full Falwell.
We had a pool. It sucked.
You were the pool boy.
I was the pool boy. Although, no, we did. All right. So here's a funny one. We remember back in the day in our first house, we had a pool, and man, I'm not a pool guy. Just not.
Truth.
Like I like swimming and such, but I'm not like I know how to take care of a pool. So one time, like we were working with some store pool cleaning company, and they sent a guy out, and this guy was like the definition on TV of a pool boy.
Okay.
He had the look and everything, right? Like if the guy you're picturing in your head when I say pool boy, you're right. Everybody.
You're right. Yep.
That goes for everybody.
Nailed it. And
So
okay, but was he wearing a Speedo while topless?
no, he was wearing tight
Right.
khaki shorts
Okay.
and a golf shirt that was really tight, and it worked on his form. Let's just say that.
Okay.
Like me wearing that tight of clothes doesn't work on me.
Well, you could try. You never know.
I could try, but I doubt it. So I remember he was outside working on the pool, and that was back when we smoked.
Yep.
And remember Mary and Carolyn and how friendly they were. Mary called Carolyn over, and they went out in the back and they smoked while he cleaned the pool. And I'm like, this is the most messed up thing ever. They just wanted to watch the pool boy.
I think that's perfectly fitting. Get you some, girls. Yeah.
And I'm inside in the shadows, like, how dare you?
It's so upsetting. Don't look upon me. Do not cast your gaze upon my body.
I'm secretly in the shadows, staring out the window from far away, turning into Ron Silver from Blue Steel.
Yes. Entirely. There's never a point where the sun or any light covers, like, allows you to see more than an eye. As you come in, like,
I'm the killer from Black Christmas all of a sudden.
yeah. You're like, I will watch the pool boy. Oh my gosh, that's what you do. You get jealous. You want it. You get off watching your wife have all of her friends come over and stare at pool boys. But then you have the only way you can finish is by killing the pool boy. I love it.
We have no pool anymore, so it's just like 6 or 7 pool boys standing in my backyard.
She's like, what are we here for? And you're like, oh no, I meant to kill you all, but I shouldn't have called you here at the same time.
Why are there 6 holes? I did not anticipate.
I realize I may have timed this incorrectly. And then you just pull out a gun and just off them all. And that's how it opens. That's your cold open.
It reminds me of a movie I was going to work on, and I was working close with, and I'm going to name drop here, so just deal with it. It's a name. Honestly, it's a name drop for me. Probably everybody else is like, "What's wrong with you?" Eddie Velez wrote a movie, and he did a short version of it, and it was called The Handyman. It was a horror movie about a handyman who goes insane and starts murdering people in an apartment complex that he fixes things in. Mm-hmm. And it was a really well done. Like he wrote a really good script. And his biggest thing was it was like sort of a Christian sort of thing, if I remember correctly. I mean, this is many years ago. We were working on this, and it was sort of a Christian thing. Reason he was killing, and he used hammers because that's what they used to nail Jesus to the cross. So he would use different hammers to kill people. Okay. I remember we were working with now anybody. I said Eddie Velez, like, I was working with Brad Pitt, but if anybody doesn't know Eddie Velez is, if you watched the A-Team when you were kids, he was the 5th member of the A-Team that came in. He was the Latino man who came in.
Okay. Yeah.
Eddie. And I think he did play Eddie in it. I don't
usually
remember.
I feel like Eddie Velez was commonly named Eddie.
And if you don't know him from that, you would know him from, you ever see White Chicks? He played like the other cop with Lachlan Monroe that they were kind of going up against during that movie. He was in lots and lots of stuff. Like,
yeah, he was a big actor.
Yeah, you would recognize him. He was on an episode of Charmed as an inspector.
Yep. Yes, he was with one of our pals.
Let's get Brian on the phone and talk about him.
Brian. We got to talk about Eddie.
Yeah. Dude. Frankie Santana on the A-Team. That's what it was.
Okay.
I knew it was like the E towards the end.
Right.
And then like it kind of fell through, and I wound up not producing the movie, and it wasn't like anything bad to happen. It's just sometimes that things come up. But I never saw anything from that movie, and I would love to see him make that, because that was a good script. He wrote a really good script in that. And that's really all it came from, because we were talking about.
And that's what you got. That's my story.
I just want to see it now, because like we were talking about me killing pool boys. I'm like, I kind of want to see, and they're like, everybody's like, that's a movie, and I'm like, nah, I want to see this movie instead.
I want to see the movie you're going to make about killing pool boys. I think that's a good one. As Jason coined it, a mixtery.
What? There's so many puns on my name.
Enjoy this mixtery.
I missed something because somebody's like, I miss Jason Statham, and I don't even know what the hell. Jeremy says, wait, you work in film production? Sorry, I'm new to this one. My sister is a film producer as well. Oh, awesome. I did. I don't anymore. I have not for a long time. I got out of it in 2011. And like I still...
Yes, almost 9 years ago. Wait a minute. 2011 is 12 years ago now.
I know. I think about it and I'm like, I left LA in 2011. I moved here in 2013. I moved to Virginia in 2013. So like, so I work in like independent capacity in some ways, but nothing official, nothing major. Like sometimes I'll help people in certain areas, but no, I'm not that. I don't do it. I did.
He does. He's got a lot of his stuff is cam work, which he usually does in videos, like looking through windows. So that's what his stuff is now. He's looking for. The funny thing is, you think he's a peeping Tom. He's in fact looking for any spy work going on by other people. He's constantly on the look for Russian spies. So just be ready. He's got
get Gene Hackman from the conversation. My comedy comes back to roost.
Exactly.
Oh my god.
I honestly want to watch Blue Steel again. You have made me seriously want to, like, I don't know why, but this conversation, I'm all about some Blue Steel.
What was it? I want to say it was maybe like 6 or 7 months ago. I was like, the kids and the wife went out of town for like 3 or 4 days. And I just watched thrillers for 3 or 4 days. It was just constant. And like, I was just like, I'm going to find everyone that I can that I haven't seen.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched so many and I had so much fun with it. And like it turned into like ones I had never seen. Then it turned into, all right, I got to keep this going. So ones I've seen, but I haven't seen, and that I haven't seen in years and I don't remember. But like, Blue Steel was one of them.
That's a great one. And then what about the Bruce Willis one? And I believe Sarah Jessica Parker, where he's in
Striking Distance.
Yeah, Striking Distance. Love that one.
That is a bonkers movie. If anybody doesn't know what that is, so
yeah, that's a good way to put it, though.
It's just a bonkers movie. It's Bruce Willis plays a cop in Pittsburgh. But it's like a whole family affair sort of thing. Like his dad's a cop, his uncles are all cops, his cousins are all. So basically, my life in New Jersey,
right? But boat cops.
Except I'm not the Bruce Willis in the scenario. I'm whoever wasn't a cop. Probably one of the women in the family.
Cousin Johnny.
Tom Sizemore, rest in peace. He was in that movie too. He played his cousin in it, who was also
right. Yeah.
So I guess what happened. I guess what happened in the movie was, and I'm not gonna. I do want to explain it though because it's kind of bonkers. What happened was he was a normal cop, but like his cousin was doing some like really underhanded things. Who was also a cop and his best friend growing up, played by I think Elroy from Murphy Brown, the guy who did the painting.
I believe you're correct. Yeah.
And see, this is all pulled from memory too.
Is that Robert Pastorelli?
Yes, I believe it is. So he plays, him, Tom Sizemore character, and Elroy from Murphy Brown, as I call him. They were all like best friends. They grew up trying to be like their fathers and stuff, who were all cops, and they became cops. So Elroy's character does some dirty deeds, and Bruce Willis's character turns him in, snitches on him. So immediately becomes like public enemy number one with all the other cops. And then that guy winds up like killing himself. He jumps off a bridge into the water. And it's so chaotic, it forces Bruce Willis' character to transfer to like boat cop.
Yep.
So he does the river patrol and he teams up with Sarah Jessica Parker. Well, what happens is somebody's killing all the women that like, because he was kind of like a womanizer type guy. Like he would go out and just sleep with serial womanizer or whatever,
Mhm.
if, for lack of a better term. And they started killing. Somebody started killing all the women he slept with in the past or like been in relationships with, kind of setting him up. And like it's just, and then I'm just gonna leave it there. It's just bonkers from there. Everything that happens in the movie is just wild and weird.
Yeah, you absolutely nailed it. Probably one of the reasons it's one of my favorites is because of how outrageous it is. But I do want to go through real quick and say that Dennis Farina crushed it in this movie. There's an awesome John Mahoney scene. You get some Tom Atkins. You get some Andre
Yeah,
Bauer. I mean, this is a big
it's a
freaking.
big movie.
It's a big movie.
They did Sarah, the only thing I really will say about Sarah Jessica Parker's character is like she's this no nonsense, like on the job cop. She
Yes.
doesn't want to deal with this BS. But like almost immediately after meeting him, just becomes infatuated with him.
Right? Like
It's
this is
so
one of
odd.
her better roles. I think I really enjoyed this role from Sarah Jessica Parker. I liked this one. She did a good job. But it was weird, the character choice to like, she's all about, no, I'm not into that, none of that. And then the second time they hang out, she like gives him googly eyes. And I was like, I don't know what's happening here.
And is from that point trying to sleep with him actively. And it's not, it doesn't, it's not like it's, okay, he goes the whole movie and then maybe at the end they kiss. No, she tries to sleep with him almost immediately every time she sees him from that point on, and he just does it.
Yeah, just throwing yourself at him. And the best part is he's so like he acts oblivious about it. He acts above it all. But then they have a moment where he very clearly describes that no, he knows he wasn't above it all and he feels it too. It's weird. And then immediately a shootout begins. Like it's so ridiculous.
On boats. On boats.
On boats.
Oh my god. Do you remember the one scene where where they find a body being dumped and then the car's like racing away and they chase? So the guy could have made a
head
right
down that
he just
estuary.
made a right at any time and been away from the river, but it's a car chase. It's a car chase where the boat is chasing the car alongside him. Like the car's driving down this road and the boat is just on the water chasing him down. And I'm like, if this dude turns, you lost. It's done.
I mean, that's all it takes. It's like, remember Night Boat from, what was it, Family Guy or one of those? But it's like there's always an estuary or a stream or
it's so bad.
It's terrible. And also, did anyone else feel like the shack that they went to at the end there? You remember the shack they meet up at towards the
their
end?
old cabin. That was like their old childhood cabin or something.
Why are they in a Florida swamp in Pittsburgh? How did that happen? That is not even close. Like
none of it works at all. Sturdy says, "What movie is this again?" It's Striking Distance.
Striking Distance, brother. It's amazing.
Sounds like some James Bond shit. Well, I will say this: the car chase ends again. There was never any car on the road. The car chase ends with the car on the road by himself. I don't even know why he's freaking out. He could drive 25 miles per hour. No other cops are chasing him on wheels. It's
would have been just fine.
He just kept going, and they start firing at him, and he blows up.
Oh my gosh, it's too good.
Oh my god, dude. It's such a blockers.
Yeah, 100%. That's part of what makes it so great. That is one of those. So that was one of those Saturday afternoon movies that I would have to watch whenever it was on. I love Striking Distance unnecessarily. It is not a good movie, y'all. By the by, I'm going to let everyone know it's the jumps they make in this story is what makes it not a good movie. Like they really go off the rails one too many times, and it clearly just becomes, what are you doing? Where are you going with it? This is outrageous.
It is so outrageous. Oh my god, dude.
But I think Striking Distance and Blue Steel. I'm gonna make myself a little movie playlist today.
I watched we want to watch a really crazy one?
Yes.
Black Rain, the Michael Douglas.
Oh yes. Dude, I haven't even thought about that one.
Yeah. Watch Black Rain. That was one of them. Rising Sun was another one I watched.
Oh, I loved Rising Sun.
It's so It's such a crazy movie. It really is.
The Rising Sun?
Yeah.
The Wesley Snipes and Sean
Yeah.
Connery vehicle?
Oh yeah. Watch that movie again, dude. The whole premise is crazy.
Fair. It's not as bad as Red Corner. That one sucked.
He gets called in. He's an LAPD detective, Snipes says in the movie. I'm not telling you anything new, but he gets called in because it's a Japanese company where the murder happens of this woman, and he just speaks Japanese. That's it. That's when he gets called in. He's an interpreter, and he speaks Japanese. So like, you solve it.
Oh, when they hand it off to Sean Connery?
It makes no sense.
Yeah, there's no way they would do that. That's not how that works. Like, no,
it's not like the person who's on. They're just like, who speaks Japanese? Wesley does send them.
Yeah, he can go.
Sean Connery's not even a cop. You never find out what he is. He's just friends
Nope.
with everybody in Japan, and he knows the culture.
That's right. Yep.
No sense.
I forgot about that because I remember I was thinking of the Presidio. You know, that's one where you have him. That's another one where he comes in to help solve a crime, but he's not an expert by any stretch of the imagination. He just happened to be friends with the main character.
Yeah, he was
Same
just
with
no. If you remember, he was in Presidio. Mark Harmon was a military cop who got drummed down in the military and became a regular cop, and he hated Sean Connery's character.
That's right. Thank you. That's what it was. And God, Mark Harmon crushes in that movie. Yeah. Not that he usually doesn't, but that was like his heyday.
You want to talk about a really good one that's sort of in a similar vein as the Presidio.
Big Easy.
What is the Kevin Costner movie? No Turning Back or something. I'm drawing a blank.
No Way Out.
No Way Out. No Way Out.
I love No Way Out. Yeah, him and Sean Young in that limo. Come on.
That's a good one. That's a really that one I'm not even gonna make fun of. Like that's a well done one.
Mm-hmm.
And like Hackman is great in it. Another great comedy from Hackman.
James Earl Jones in that one as well. I just remember it being almost like everybody was in that.
James Earl Jones not in it. That I would remember because like he would add James Earl Jones being in a movie is like immediate gravitas that you're on a whole different level.
Well, I mean, that was always that's the way I looked at what the hell was the other one he was in? Most of the Jack Ryan movies.
Yeah, he played the head of the CIA in it.
Yeah, Jim Greer. So he always gives that credence. You're right.
So another really good one to check out, which is just a legit good thriller, is The Firm.
Oh yeah, I love The Firm.
It's so much fun. But if you're looking for a good Gene Hackman comedy, watch Absolute Power.
Yeah. Oh well, Absolute Power is one of my favorites. Are you kidding me? I'm the president of the United States of America. He gets so angry.
The best comedy of all
I could kill that slut.
Christ.
That's a quote. That is a quote. That is not me just saying things. That is what Gene Hackman says in the movie.
He's honestly just living his best life in that movie.
He's the most Gene Hackman he's ever been in that movie. Because he's not really racist like he is in Crimson Tide. That's acting. But slut shaming and Absolute Power. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, 100% Gene Hackman.
It's all good. Speaking of comedy, anyone check out the new History of the World Part 2? Yeah, I have not.
I have not yet. And the reason being I don't think it's going to suck because it's still Mel. You know what I'm saying? It's him putting his story out there. It's just a lot. And I'm just not ready for that much. I believe it's on Hulu and it's like an hour and a half an episode. Yeah. But yeah, it's just a lot.
4, right?
Yeah. 4 or 6, somewhere in between there. But yeah, just not really ready for that. But I'm excited. I will be. I have to work up to it. I think it's been so long, since I've been in the Mel Brooks mindset. It takes a little bit to get back in that humor.
You guys got to remember too, Casey's just not really into history.
Yeah, no, not me. Yeah,
anybody who knows you screaming right now.
I'm not a history guy, so I don't like anything that's usually funny, and I don't like things that are informative. So it's probably gonna suck.
Just see you running in the classrooms and tearing up social studies books,
lighting it on fire. We don't need history. History is written by the winners. We need to commiserate with the losers and just burn all the books. I get it now. I understand where they come from. That's why they want to do it.
Dude, but that would be awesome, dude. We need to do I'll do thriller. I'll watch some thrillers with you. It'd be fun.
Do Thriller Day, man. I love thrillers, man. Thrillers are the greatest.
Dude, just to like have a conversation about thrillers. Because it's like the unsung genre that just like saves. Like I think if thrillers didn't exist, all right, I know I'm going out on a limb here when I say this, but
try it.
I love horror movies. We all know that, but we do realize that in the film industry, from a hierarchy standpoint, horror movies are very much looked down on.
Oh yeah, of course. Horror movies are the redheaded stepchildren. They're the ones who are beaten and thrown a plate of gruel downstairs so they can, subsist.
Yeah. And if they didn't make money, there wouldn't be as many of them, because of coming from Hollywood's, independent, of course. But
right.
I think because thriller exists, the genre of thriller exists, and it's so close, it teeters on that edge of horror, but it gives that, I don't know, it gives that air of like, I don't know if acceptability is the right word or just kind of like I don't know, I'm drawing a blank on this word, but like it kind of, again, it's not solidify. Strengthen's a good one. It was like more specific, like it validates almost.
Fortify?
Well, no, I would more call it like a validation of like having horror in a movie, but if you're adding elements of like the passion side of it, stuff like that. So so I think like that's why you can see thrillers get nominated for stuff, but you never see really horror get nominated.
Well, it's true. Yeah, it's the happy middle ground. It's the place that people can go without feeling too gory and too gross and for it being too much. Yeah. It's the mom's version of horror. It's what it is. It's enticing. You can always add sex to it. There's always that's easy. Shannon Tweed. Was it Shannon Tweed? Is that who I'm thinking of?
Catherine. I always think of Kathleen Turner from like Body Heat and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Or Ellen Barkin from The Big Easy.
Yeah, she did a really good turn on Poker Face recently.
Ooh, okay.
She was good in it. And it was funny because when it starts out, you're like, she is terrible. She's not acting it right at all. And like it just seemed weird. But then like when you get to like the hook and what they're getting into in the show, which if you're into thriller and you like the Rian Johnson movies, I cannot stress enough, you need to watch Poker Face. It's fantastic. Natasha Lyonne is, out of all of especially Rian Johnson's, and I love Benoit Blanc in his character. Like Charlie Cale is so much fun. She's great in it.
All right. So, I mean, I'm in. I'm going to check it out. I do want to check it out. Everyone's been telling me about it. Lots of people claiming it's phenomenal. So I guess I'll have to make up my own brain.
And I would love for you to just check out the first episode. I would actually venture to say, check out the first 2 episodes, everybody. UKC2. Because the first episode is the setup of who Charlie Cale is. And the second episode is the format of what the show is going forward.
Perfect. Okay. So then you can kind of prepare yourself for what you're looking at.
Exactly.
Dope.
Now, I don't want to like just change lanes too fast, but you know me, I segue king. I'll take 90 miles an hour. We have a special guest joining us today, all the way from Manassas, Virginia. He is the pinnacle of the Christian Brotherhood. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just picking on him because I can see his face down there. It is my brother, AJ Manhattan, is joining in. He's going to tell us an old St. Patrick's Day story that really makes me look like an ass, but I'm
Oh,
going to do
yes, it's a fine one. You should all hear. Oh, fantastic. It's great.
I wish you were wearing your kilt. I wish I'd called you at like 6 a.m. so that way I'd been like, put on your kilt.
Oh, I would have. I would have too. I got to say, that was one of the first full nights of sleep that I've gotten in my house all week. So I'm
Fair.
feeling pretty. I was feeling pretty good.
I'm glad I called you at like
6:57.
6:57.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
All right, let's bring him on. Here he is, AJ Manhattan.
Woo! AJ, good
up, Casey?
morning. How you doing,
You guys
buddy?
hear me?
Yep,
I can hear you. What's up, buddy?
Nothing much. I'm hoping that I don't say anything that gets either one of us divorced or indicted.
Oh, I'm good. My wife knows everything.
Well, mine knows nothing. So, well, I'm just here because I have been besmirched. I have been ridiculed, and I think I have a right to tell my side of the story of this helicopter story. Story. So, Mike, it's your show. You tell me what to do and where to go.
All right, so I'm just going to set it up. I'm going to set up us going down there, and then I'm going to let you take it away from there. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So it's 2005, and I did the math in between the last episode and now, knowing you were going to come on and talk about it. It's 2005. We were. I was going to take the Capitol Police test down in DC. We're basically close to where we are now. And AJ was coming with me. Now we're just going to take a trip down there. We're staying. His girlfriend at the time, she got us a hotel room in the place she worked. Really beautiful hotel. So we were, and that plays into it. Don't worry, guys. So I want to finish the story now. I immediately regret this at all costs. So we get down to DC. It's St. Patrick's Day. The test is 2 days later or whatever. And so we go down. It's St. Patrick's Day. We're Irish Catholic boys from Jersey, North Jersey. We're coming down. We're going to hit it head on. And we get there. AJ knows DC a lot better than I do. You know, and I don't know if you want me to give away any information about you.
No, you can. That's fine. I don't mind.
He's a DC police officer now. That's how well he knew that that area and especially even more so in the past years. But all right, we're there. It's St. Patrick's Day. Take it away.
All right. So I knew DC fairly well. I started there in September of 2005, and I figured, let's go out. Let's have a good time. Do a little day drinking. The hotel that my then girlfriend got us, mind you, is only meant for people who are doing business travel. She really gave us a hookup, and just bear with me because we'll get to that. So we go out, and we're at a bar called the Mad Hatter. It's on 19th and M Street in DC. And we meet these two young ladies. And of course, I'm trying to be a good big brother. So you could tell these aren't your typical asses or girls. They're
Can I interrupt you just for 1 second? And the only thing I want to add as a qualifier is that AJ is a Marine veteran. He served overseas in the war, and the only reason I say that is because it does play into this story. So please proceed.
So again, to the best of my recollection, this was a long time ago. We meet these two young ladies, and somehow I believe it came up that I was in the Marines, and they were.
You brought it up.
We've been drinking all day. My recollection.
We were hammered.
So they're like super keen on that. So what Mike may know or may not know in this story was, I said, "Yeah, Mike, tell her you're a helicopter pilot in the Marine Corps." And I did it for two reasons. Mike might not know this. Reason one was, if the girl was into it, hey man, go do what you do. Reason two, selfishly, was when this crashed and burned horribly, it was going to be hilarious to watch. So I kind of had a subterfuge. So Mike starts talking to this girl about being a Marine Corps helicopter pilot. And she asks him if it's hard. And in his infinite wisdom, he says, "Yeah, going up and down the hills is hard." That was his whole answer. His whole answer. the look of disgust on this woman's face was
No. That was not the whole answer, because remember they asked, well, have you ever had to kill anybody? Or they asked me like, how hard is it to like kill people? And I think they meant it philosophically. And I'm so drunk, I'm like, that zigzag, so it's kind of hard.
Yes. I think that was the end. That's what ended any chance.
So he could have easily been like, all right, you're not a Marine. Here's the thing. Your artillery or whatever, just say you work this. He picked something I have absolutely no knowledge of whatsoever. Helicopter pilot. I've never been in a helicopter. I don't know anything about helicopters other than they have blades. The amount of knowledge I have about helicopters comes from Transformers rescue team, which my kids watched, and there was a helicopter in it. That's it. That and Airwolf, maybe. Like,
well, Airwolf. That's where all the knowledge comes from.
So, here's why I feel I've been besmirched, because truth or transparency, I would listen to your show every week. I think it's awesome. I don't know half of what you guys talk about, but it's funny. Is Mike talking about how I took him on the Bataan Death March the next day?
Yes.
You did, you son of a gun.
Yes, what you didn't do is you didn't give the reasons up to why I took you on the Bataan Death March the next day.
I don't care. Any St. Patrick's Day should be. I still maintain that I should have been null and void. It was St. Patrick's Day.
I had to steal linen from the linen lady because of your Domino's pizza incident. Am I allowed to talk about that?
Yeah, but you got to get to Domino's. You got to remember the walk home.
Yes.
And first of all, we went and got the spiciest tacos of all time.
I still go there. It's phenomenal.
It's horrifyingly spicy.
So we leave and we're walking home. Now, mind you, it's not at night. It's maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And we're going down 17th Street in DC, which there's a lot of restaurants with outdoor seating. And all I could describe Mick Manhattan as is a drunken Bigfoot walking down 17th Street, just stumbling everywhere. Now, Mick is a lot bigger than me. I'm only 5'9". At that point, I was like maybe 175 pounds. And he's trying to engage outdoor diners in conversation in his drunken stupidity walking down the street. Now, mind you, I'm already a police officer in DC, and I'm like, I'm not getting arrested on St. Patrick's.
No, you weren't at that point. You became one in September. You were waiting for.
Oh, that's right. I was on the list. I was waiting to get hired. I'm paranoid we're going to get in trouble. And what does Mick do? Casey, you've worked in the restaurant industry. You know the outdoor menu.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The tripod thing sitting out there.
He just destroys one of those in front of a restaurant where there's like 20 people sitting outside. And then gets up and starts running.
No. I got up. I took a fry off of their plate.
Yes.
And then I
on the street.
Dude, this night could only be described as like if Cocaine Bear was in Washington, D.C.
So,
about right.
Now I'm livid. I'm livid because I'm paranoid we're going to get in trouble. I'm paranoid I'm not, the one job I've wanted since I was 15 years old is about to go down the tubes. I'm paranoid. So somehow I'm like John Dutton and I wrangle this buffalo into the hotel room.
Nope, you got to get to the subway story first.
Oh, I know. I remember being on what did you do on the subway?
We went to the Metro. And it's surprising that I remember this now. And it all comes from AJ's recollection of it. And it sticks with me, but it's funny. So we had to take the Metro back to where the hotel was. I'm hammered at this point. He's holding me up. And it's not an easy feat.
5'9", 170, 6'8", like 235. It's not easy.
He's like halfway folded on you as you're trying to just arm and head.
Yeah, it's tough. And I'm just like leaning, and he's just doing his best. So we get on the Metro, and like back in the, I don't know how it is now. Back in the day, at that time at night, it's not like super busy, like not like New York City, like wherever. It just seems like people are always on the freaking subway. And there was like a group of guys there, St. Patrick's Day, they're out drinking. And I remember both what they said that night in my head versus what AJ told me the next day. And in my head, it's just like they were talking shit.
Oh, that's right.
And then AJ the way AJ always told me was they were just like, hey man, is he okay? And was just like checking on me as he was holding them up. And like Atreus goes, yeah, he's all right, man. He just had one too many. And my giant bear paw. I just put it up like this. I've never hit anyone in my life like Fred Flintstone, and I did it that well, I didn't hit anybody, but that night I swung at them, and I came like super close to the guy, to where they were all horrified. Like the was it the Wampa in Empire Strikes Back comes after Luke? That's basically what this was.
Thank God none of them had a lightsaber.
Oh my God, yeah. And they were just like, oh my God. Like they were horrified, like Godzilla had just gone on.
That's that. I believe, if I remember, you didn't say a word. You like grunted and just threw the punch at him. And all this, and now mind you,
but in my mind, I gave a heroic speech.
Casey, these weren't like drunken frat boys. They were just like normal people. And I remember because the guy was like, "Is he all right?" And he's just like,
"Is he all right?"
So finally, we get back to the hotel, and the hotel in question is a place called Club Quarters. It's on 17th Street, and right across the street was this awesome bar called The Bottom Line. It's actually where they filmed the bar scenes from A Few Good Men.
Oh, okay, awesome.
I get Mike into the hotel room, and I'm literally like screaming at him, like, "Go to effing bed! Just go to bed! Go to effing bed!" I'm instant sober, livid, pissed off. Go to effing bed. So he goes to bed, and I'm like, "Well, I'm going to the Bottom Line to have a beer because I'm pissed. I'm furious." So I go to the Bottom Line. I'm there maybe 2 hours. I come back to the hotel, and I walk in, and all I could describe the hotel room as looking like Mick Manhattan murdered a prostitute. There's Domino's pizza boxes everywhere.
Wait, multiple? Is that just one?
Everywhere.
Listen, I was hungry.
His linens.
I wasn't even fat back then. That's the funny part.
Everywhere where there was linen on his bed was covered in pizza sauce.
No, I threw up everywhere because of
it was disgusting. So all I'm thinking is, when my girlfriend finds out about this, she had a very high position in this hotel company. She's going to get fired. She's going to break up with me, which in hindsight would have been a good thing. So I flip. I'm like, what? So I just ball up all the linen. I go down to the basement of the hotel, like the boiler room, like Freddie's boiler room basement, and hide this hotel linen, in a corner. And I go floor to floor looking for a linen cart to steal linen for Mike to sleep.
Yes.
So I find linen, I steal it, come back, he goes to bed. Now this was the coup de grace.
I showered too. He put me in the shower.
Yeah, and now the next morning, this is the final straw. Like I'm livid. I was ready to leave him in DC. He wakes up that morning. Don't ask me how this happened. Butt naked.
Completely ambivalent to the whole situation the night before.
Opens the drapes to the window, which, by the way, the window faces a building right next to us that like houses office workers.
and these windows are floor to ceiling, baby.
And just gives a big giant stretch butt naked in the window.
And then I turn around and I do a bend over and touch my toes sort of situation.
So then he says, "Well, I want to go sightseeing." And I'm like, "Okay, I've had it." At this point, I'm like, "You know what? You drank a little too much." At that point, I was still in the Marine Corps. I was in great shape. And I was like, "Okay, we'll go sightseeing." And I made him walk from the Lincoln Memorial to the Capitol building and back.
At one point, we got to the reflecting pool, and I was like, "I'm done. I live here now. Leave me alone."
I can go no further.
Seeing the Capitol, and he wanted to stop. He was just like, "I want to stop. Like, I want to stop and see these things." And I'm like, "I just want this to be over." And I'm like, I don't want to do that. And it did not end there. He thinks it did, but it didn't. I'm pissed because I'm like, you can't punish me for getting hammered on a St. Patrick's Day.
No, it wasn't getting hammered. It was being an idiot after you got hammered.
Hey, what happens when you're hammered is what happens when you're hammered. And on St. Patrick's Day, I feel like
I don't know if that's the same.
I thought that was a saying in 2013, and it led to my divorce. So no, what happens when you have it in fact happens.
Yes, it is still reality, just because it wasn't your reality.
I want to bring up this one. Jeremy says that sounds like an episode of Tucker Max. The funny thing is, we've read that book. We love. I Hope They Serve Beer in Hell. It's so funny, and we've seen the movie and stuff. And like AJ and our other brother George Manhattan and I have talked about it. Our stories might make Tucker Max look like a goddamn idiot. Like our story, and I'm not telling anymore because it's just so horrifying. But like, not in a bad way. Not like we murdered or did anything crazy, but like just the drunken shenanigans is horrifying. Like I was telling my son the other day, and I'm not going to delve too deep into some of these shenanigans, but I'm telling my son the other day we were talking, and I don't know how it came up, and you know he's just turned 11. He's like holding a knife, like a butter knife or something. I was like, whoa, put that down. And he goes, what, are you afraid I'm going to stab you? He's like, you think I'm afraid of being stabbed? I've been stabbed before. And he goes, who? He's like, who stabbed you? It was like my brother. And like his 11-year-old mind looked like it was about to explode. Like, what? And I was like, not even like once either. Like,
I've also maced you. Don't forget that.
You have maced me while I was at work and left me. You hit me with a pool cue. Not even, and I wasn't even your target. I was just in the way of your.
Admittedly, that's what friends do with pool cues.
Yeah, no, I was trying to. In transparency, I was trying to hit someone else, and Mike just got in the way.
We all had pool cues because, like, you know, you can unscrew them. Because I don't want to say hustled, but we bet pool back in the day, and so we all had sticks, and like he was so mad. Remember we got hammered in Staten Island, and you couldn't because you were driving.
Yes, and
then you drove us back, and you were so mad that we were drunk. You kicked us out like 4 miles from the house.
Get out.
Made us walk all that way when we were a block away from the house. You pulled the car up, got out, hit me with a pool cue because I'm like, calm down, knocked me down. I was like, go ahead, kill him. And then you started beating her on the brother.
I started beating up George.
I think about those things. That lives in my mind.
See, here's the thing. This is what I love these stories because it makes me understand. As someone with a sister, it's a matter of don't get involved when it comes to the mental games. But I'm more grateful that I didn't have brothers because I would have been so beat up. It sounds so brutal.
Oh, Casey, the Scene Snobs could do an entire live podcast on the amount of times we've beaten each other up, the stupid stuff we've done. I could go on for 30 minutes about Mike's first trip to Brooklyn when I lived in Brooklyn and how.
Oh my god! No,
getting arrested. That close.
That one we gotta leave alone. That one we can't put on the air. We gotta leave that one alone. It's not that it's like bad, like we were talking about thrillers earlier. It's just stupidity, and it's like Mick Manhattan cannot allow that stupidity to come out. People will see him differently.
No, fell asleep in my bathtub. That's all.
I did fall asleep in your bathtub. I lived with you for a little while.
Yes. So,
I mean, there's time. So if you want to get that story out,
I like that, Jeremy.
I made promises. I will. No, you guys can tell stories about me. It's not my podcast. No, that's.
We can. There's other stories we can tell. Oh my god. What was it? What was it? That one where we went into that Jersey City bar, and it was like it was in the ghetto, like it was our old neighborhood.
That was the Wagon Wheel.
No, we went to the Wagon Wheel. We saw Kenny. That was like our dad's bartender. That was our dad's bar.
Same Wagon Wheel when we went back because it was on Sip Avenue. When we went there, we were the only 3 white guys in this bar at like 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah, I mean, we were. I mean, this is where we grew up, but the neighborhood had gone like crazy for a while.
Yeah, JC baby.
Yeah, still tattooed. So we No, we went into another bar. It was down by the Journal Square. Remember, we got that one really. No, he was an Irish guy who got really hammered, and he just wanted to become.
Well, that wasn't by Journal Square. That was, I know the guy like just got out of prison, and George befriended him.
And then we ended up in Staten Island that night.
Yeah,
and remember, George was fighting with the guy about the Iraq War.
Yeah, we were at we went to, it was called O'Leary's, right off Summit Avenue, and we walk in there. It's an Irish bar, mind you, and we were probably only 3 or 4 Irish people in this entire bar. It was like all Dominican guys, which whatever, who cares? People are people.
Yeah.
But George befriends this guy, and they start talking, and the guy, and mind you, at this point, George is in the Marines. I'm already a police officer. Mike's doing his thing, and this guy like just got out of jail for like manslaughter.
You would think I was the guy that got out of jail for manslaughter, the way you put that. Like, Mike's just doing his thing. Like,
Mike's running numbers with some bookies, you know.
I
don't know where I was at that point.
When you were still out in California?
No, I was like 21 when that happened. I was young.
Well, ipso facto.
I mean, I want to say 21.
George wants to hang out with this guy. Like, yeah, we're going to hang out. I'm like, no, this guy just got out of jail for murder. No, I'm not hanging out.
and he had murder eyes. Like, he wanted to murder us.
Like he just looked like straight out of South Boston, friggin' Charlestown bank robber type guy.
And like there was in this bar, there was the bartender and him. And then we came in and like George trying to befriend him. Then we're like, all right, we got to go. And like he said something to offend George, and we're like, all right, let's just go. And he got mad at us for leaving and like started following us down the street.
So then in our infinite drunken stupidity, we said, well, the bars close at 2 in New Jersey, but Curves, the strip club in Staten Island, doesn't close till 4.
I know. You were always trying to get us to go there.
No.
Yeah, I knew people who worked there.
We wanted to go to Q's, or was it Aloysius or whatever it was?
Nope, we're going to Curves.
Nope, we're going to Curves. So we go. And let me tell you, there's first of all, Casey, if you really want to see it, this is a place that's right next to a junkyard and a landfill in Staten Island.
It's also owned by the Russian mob.
What?
And when you go in there,
3 for 3, baby. Let's go.
It's horrifying. You go in there, it's not a pleasant place.
No.
It's not like there's nudity everywhere and you're like, oh my God, all these girls are naked and dancing. And like you're in a happy place, which you would think in like TV show strip clubs.
Yeah.
No, we were horrified, and like, and AJ's all in. He's like, "Oh my God, this is great!" And like,
well, the chance for death is where you get the boners. I get it.
We flipped it. Like, whereas in Jersey City, George is like going to get killed, and we're like, we got to get out of here. We go to Curves, and like AJ's like, I'm in heaven, and everyone else is like, and we're like, we need to go, and then we go to that bar, and the guy starts fighting. Now the guy was like he was a dickhead. He was really like, he was treating his wife like crap. Like you could tell he probably raised his hands to her. That type of guy.
Typical loudmouth Staten Island.
Yeah.
You know me, trash Italian guy.
Gotcha.
So George is talking to him, right? And now his wife is a 10. His wife is beautiful. So AJ goes off and like he's mad that we left the strip club, so he's just like pumping quarters, playing Hoobastank in the
yes, Hoobastank.
Probably not, but I'm gonna stick to that. George goes with the husband down to the other end of this bar and starts arguing about the war. It's like, calm down, because George had just got back from Iraq at that time.
Okay.
And so I sit next to the wife, and I'm like 21 years old, and I'm like, she's beautiful, and she's like in her 30s, and I'm like, we talked about my kink of being older women, so I just start hitting on her, and she's all in. But George is like, I'm gonna murder this guy. Like, we gotta go.
That seems to be how so if Mike and I hang out together, cool. If George and I hang out together, cool. There's something in the air that if the 3 of us get together, something's going to happen. It's going to end terribly. And we're either going to be fighting everybody else or one of us is going to fight the other. It's just, that's why we keep a comfortable gap. Like you get like twice a year we'll hang out. Like today being St. Patrick's Day, I'll probably see George later today. I have a Jersey City t-shirt for him. I'll have a beer with him,
Nice.
give him a handshake. You stay on that side. I'm going to stay on this side because nothing good is going to happen. Nothing good can happen.
Never.
So, and now it's like I'm 44. I have a broken back. I'm just too old for this crap, man. I just want to. Like I have a honey-do list when I get off of this podcast before I can go out because the boss told me before I go anywhere I have to mop the floor, vacuum, and clean. That's the down of where we're at now.
Hey, that's the beauty of the 40s, man.
I found my resolution in just staying home. I'll pop a gummy, I'll chill out, and have a good day.
You know how jealous I am of you guys that you get to do that? I've got 7 years until I can do that.
Almost there, those 7 years, brother. At 51, you're in.
I still have to sit here and kill my liver with Miller Lite because I can't pop a gummy and zone out and watch Yellowstone.
Which is great.
Every time I talk to Mike, he's like, yeah, pop the gummy. I'm like, I hate you. I hate you so much. I'm sheer jealous. I'm going to be the only 51-year-old with a six-pack abs because I'm never going to drink again.
Yep, exactly.
Want to go to the bar? Nope. I just sparked a bowl. I'm about to eat some Cheerios with soy milk. Leave me alone.
Yes, that's exactly where we're at in life. This is amazing. If I could have looked back and told 20-year-old me to just put it down, you don't need booze anymore. There's a better way.
I can hop on DeLorean and tell 21 to 31-year-old me a lot of things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we hung out during those times.
Yes. By the way,
you've been there for quite a few.
The head to toes. That has been retired. I don't head to toe anybody anymore. I'm not.
He used to make people cry all the time.
You know, a lot of that I think was done out of like self insecurity. Where
I get it.
If somebody bit me and got me good, I was like, okay, now it's go time. And I say this with no arrogance. I'm a funny guy. I can make jokes. And if you got me, and our old George was the worst. Like he would say something biting. And then I would just light him up, and he would get. That's probably why he would beat me up a lot. He'd get so mad. I would light him up. Like he had a nickname. His motorcycle club he's in, I used to be a member of, and I gave him the nickname Lip Neck because he doesn't have a chin. He just has a lip and a neck. And I've never seen him that mad, like ever. Wanted to murder me because I said it in front of everyone.
Oh, God.
He does. Mind you, he does have a chin. It's there. It's not very pronounced, but it is there. And George, if you're listening, watching, love you, buddy. George, AJ could set in on your insecurities, and just like, boom, that was it. Like he knew it was like Abed in Community. In that episode where it's like he's like the Terminator and he can zero in on the thing that you're most insecure about and just rip you apart.
Oh yeah, I remember sitting there hanging out joyously watching AJ rip people apart who were pricks, because generally you only really ripped apart the pricks. Oddly enough, you argued with the friendly people, but you actually destroyed the pricks, which was hilarious. It was I never understood it. It was wonderful to watch.
Where you worked, the bar you worked at was filled with assholes.
Oh yeah.
They would come in there and they would just act like they had the biggest set of balls on the planet and just be jerk offs. And I'd be like, well, you've met a bigger, meaner, funnier jerk off. So, okay, you started it. I didn't start it. You started it.
Let's ride.
Not my fault what happens at this point.
Oddly enough, some of my favorite times, though, ever hanging out at that bar were actually with you, AJ, because we would actually be just you and I. Not when Mike was around, not when George was around. We'd just hang out and have a beer. We watched Die Hard together.
Yes,
a very special night of my life. That was the night I got punched in the
talks
mouth.
About that.
Yeah,
I want to point out to Jeremy too. He goes, "Russian mob, is this stolen from Gone in 60 Seconds?" No, where we grew up, the Italian and Russian mob were very prevalent.
Not Virginia, buddy. It was a different world where we grew up. Different world.
Oh yeah, that's finding out in Connecticut. There were a whole bunch of garbage men. Like everybody had a trash business, and I was like, "Well, that's not the mob, right?" My stepdad finally had to be like, "Are you kidding me? Everyone from Jersey and New York come up and meet here at these diners." I was like, "Oh,
no." Well, where I lived, you know, Mike and I obviously we're half brothers. We have different mothers. I lived with my mom in Jersey City, and we had this old woman that lived across the street, and the house we lived in, my aunt owned it. She lived on the first floor. We lived on the second. So anytime it snowed, my aunt would tell us, go across the street and shovel out her driveway, shovel her steps, whatever. Do not take a dime from this woman, not even a quarter. We were not even allowed to get a quarter from this old woman.
Okay.
That sweet old woman with her tomato garden. Well, that was John Gotti's grandmother. And that's why we had to shovel out her driveway every day.
Yo, what?
Yeah. Yep.
And she wouldn't give money? She wouldn't be
no,
like,
she tried. We weren't allowed to take it.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. We just had to do it and say, yes, ma'am, and go right back across the street and not be able to go get a bag of chips in the cold ass weather because it was freezing.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Where we grew up, like, was famous for having bookies on every corner.
What? Well, no, it makes sense. Jersey City. Yeah. No.
Oh, you're going to stop with that anti-Jersey sentiment I hear every episode. You're going to listen. I have no love for that place. Like Mike, I'm there for a day and I'm like, get me out of here. This place sucks. But we're still proud we're from there. So you're from Connecticut. Yeah. You're from Connecticut.
The land of hugs and hope. That's what Connecticut gives you.
ESPN,
the valley.
Land of ESPN and New Haven. Okay.
Yeah, and WWE.
And WWE. let's be real.
There's Groton. There's a few things. They have, Mystic. We had Mystic Pizza. Julia Roberts, national treasure.
And Matt Damon. You got a twofer on that one.
I've been to Bridgeport. Okay. Bridgeport is like Camden in Connecticut. That's the best way I can describe Bridgeport.
Yes, it is. 100%.
Which is fair, but there's a lot of beauty in Connecticut too.
Oh, there is. There's
like, I'm hard pressed. Like, I love being from Jersey, but I'm hard pressed to find that beauty sometimes.
Well, no offense.
Southern Jersey's got some good spots.
You did grow up in what I can only describe as the armpit of New Jersey, which is saying something. I mean, Carteret.
I grew up in the armpit of New Jersey, which is the armpit of America.
Yes. Carteret is a special place.
It is a very special place, dude.
Special.
We could tell you stories about that place, and it would be.
It's got some things going for it.
I think the most famous thing that Carteret is famous for is Derek Jeter dated a girl that was from there, and that was what everybody talked about.
And that's what you got.
And when I say dated, this was like 1996, 97. Derek Jeter, he wasn't dating.
Yeah,
let's be real. She probably hooked up with him, and then said like, "Nah, I dated her because Carteret."
Well, Carteret does have the best dive bar I've ever been to in my life.
Which one?
Oh, which one?
Kelly's. You can't beat Kelly's.
Kelly's was pretty awesome. I did enjoy my time at Kelly's. Mike took me. Yeah.
Oh, it's the best. It's the best. The smell
of my spot.
Marlboros and nightmares is just prevalent in that place.
It's a king dive bar because it's
the bathroom without a door, the stall without a bathroom door that apparently has been that way, as Mick was telling me, for like since he started going there.
And the wall's not even like a full wall. It's like because you could, like if somebody's sitting on the toilet, their legs are still past the wall.
Yes. It's a great place. Great place.
Yeah, Kelly's was always a trip. I remember when Kelly's, because I had been going to Kelly's since I was 15. I used to ride my bike there. And I can tell the story now because the aunt that used to buy me drinks passed away. And I, at this point, and I don't think it's a bad thing. That's how we grew up. That's how everybody did it. Where we're from. So Kelly's was a dive bar because Kelly's just never changed. Like Kelly's is just like, this is what we are. We're for the town.
And there's some places that need to be that way. I love those regular bars, man.
Like Mackey's, I feel like when that started was probably like, and I want you to correct me if I'm wrong, Casey. I'm speculating here.
Sure.
So when Mackey's, which was a great dive bar and I loved it, I feel like when it started, it was like, we're really going to try. This is downtown. This is the old town, Manassas.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, it just like was like, nah, let's be this, like that sort of thing.
Oh no, it just fell and no one was picking it back up. It was kind of like, no, it's way funnier down there. Let's just
so like it went from maybe like a 9 or a 10 and then just fell to a 3 and it just lived there.
What's funny about Mackey's?
Everywhere in Jersey, especially this bar, is just starts at a 2.
Well, you got to remember, Mike, down here, the bars have to serve food. Up where we're from, their food is those weird eggs in that green goo behind the bar. And that's it. That's and maybe a disgusting hot dog for like $2. But...
Or you get the stand of chips.
Yeah. That's your food. But what's funny about Mackey's, Casey, where you used to work, is I bring my kids there now because it's like a tabletop game place.
Right. Yep.
And I sit there, I was playing Chutes and Ladders with my daughter, and I'm like, oh wow, yeah, man, I can tell you stories of things that happen here.
Oh my God.
The guy who offered me cocaine in the bathroom, and I'm like, if there's one guy you should not ask to offer to, is me. And he's like, I don't get what's the problem. I'm like, I'm a cop.
5-0, baby.
And the guy looks at me, he goes, this is when I was in the Renegade Pigs. He goes, no, you're not. I'm like, no, yeah, I really am. And he goes, no, you're not. I was like, I am. And everybody wearing one of these vests is also a cop. And there's like 15 of them in the bar. Like maybe go outside and do that in the parking lot. I don't know, but
try something different tonight.
Like my daughter loves going there. She's like, I love this place. And all I think is like, my daughter's 10.
Okay.
11 years from now, I'm going to be at a bar in Manassas, which if I'm at a bar in Manassas in 11 years, Mike, just drive down from Stephen City and kill me. And I'm going to see this half naked girl singing along the rap songs at the bar, and it's going to be my daughter. And that's when I go to prison. And that's just going to
that's when it happens. That's what happens. That's why you can't go into those old buildings anymore.
Yeah, Casey, you have a daughter. You understand. It's just like, that's just going to be the end of the story. I'm just going to go to prison.
Yep,
See,
that's pretty much. That's where the story ends. Just
our problem is,
a new story begins.
Excuse me. You know how most siblings say to each other, when they grow up, they're like, yeah, it'll be fun when our kids play together. I actively have to make sure my kids, I have 2 sons, have to go and meet AJ's kids and George's kid. So that way they're not like in a bar one day when they're all adults and like, oh, I'll hit on her. And it's like, that's your cousin, which happened to us.
Yes, at the Yankee game.
I knew who she was.
I had no idea who this girl was. And she was good looking girl. She's like
getting married this weekend. She's getting married. Diana's getting married this weekend.
She's like my second cousin. I never met her a day in my life. And I'm like,
I knew her well. We grew up together because we were the same age.
I'm like, hey, how's it going? And I'm talking to her over like 4 innings. And like, because we like to see each other do dumb shit.
Sure.
And she's in on it. She's like, right. She knows. I didn't say hello to her. I didn't say anything. I knew exactly who she was. We grew up together. I wanted to turn around, like, because we call each other cuz. So like, I wanted to turn around, like, what's up, cuz? And I was waiting for the right moment. And that was 4 innings of AJ hitting on her.
So what did I do after that? I got drunk. I was like, nope.
Nope.
Bring me another $12 beer. I don't care.
And some of you may be asking that question. No. I'm going to tell the real story because it was even better. So he's hitting on her. She's there with like a friend. They're both like really beautiful women. I pegged her right off the bat, and I even think I nodded to her, but I didn't say anything because AJ like immediately targeted when we got there, and I was like, "This is going to be fun." And she just knew. She's from the same area, so. You might be saying to yourself, oh, well, they're half brothers, so it's probably on different sides. No. He's blood. They're blood.
That was blood.
So for 4 innings, I'm listening to AJ hit on our cousin. And then finally, I just can't do it anymore. And I'm like, turn around. I'm like, hey, cuz. She goes, what's up, cuz? And we start talking. And she goes, you know her? I'm like, yeah, that's our cousin. And he's just like red in the face. But without missing a beat, he starts hitting on her friend.
Yes.
He goes, is she our cousin? And I go, no, I have no idea who she is. And
is she our cousin?
Listen. I am a happily married man.
It's like 20 years ago, but
you all knew me when I wasn't a married man, and this is what I do.
Oh, dude, no,
life, brother. I get it. It's beautiful.
Funny. It was funny that the target just switched.
Hey,
you didn't even miss a beat. Like you were saying, like, oh, I was just gonna drink it off. Like, no, you didn't. You immediately were like, well, she your cousin, and then you started hitting on her. It was so interchangeable.
Well, because it's perfect. That's what you're supposed to do. The moment, hey, one down, next up. Yeah. I get it.
Oh my god.
There was a time in my life I 100% was there too, buddy. It was, not that one. Then how about you?
This is why when Mick sent me the text like, hey, are you joining? The reason I didn't join promptly at 8 is because I had to wait for my wife to go to work because she doesn't need to hear any of this.
See, I tell my wife, I put it out there because I'm like, if I can tell her, if I'm ashamed to tell my wife a story, I'm like, yeah, that should probably never come out then.
Yes.
And like, but I got no shame in all this stupid stuff that we did because we weren't like stupid asshole, like elitist, racist jerk offs running around being maniacs. We were just three brothers going out drinking, and we were usually the life of the party.
Yeah, you did almost get me into a fight with an elitist at a bar while I was wearing a cardigan sweater and khakis.
Yes,
that was a good one.
I walked up to yeah, there was a really bad elitist at the bar, and I was just
we were at the Olive Branch
pointing out that AJ, you're dressed just like him, and like to the guy.
So I met up with them. I had just gotten back from a work event. I wasn't a police officer yet, so I had to dress nice. And we're sitting there, and this guy just started like frat boy, boat shoe douchebag, starts popping trash to Mike, and I'm like, oh hell no. So I walk around to him, and I'm like, I'm trying to be like Billy Badass, but I'm dressed like Billy Madison. Like I look like Step Brothers Christmas photo, cardigan sweater, and I'm like, let's just go outside and fight. I think I called him like a prep boy or something, and of course Mike doesn't miss a beat. He's like, you look just like him. I'm like, taking this sweater off, screw that.
Oh my god!
And he didn't put it back on. That was the best part. He refused to put the sweater back on.
I think when I got there, the first thing George said, what the hell are you wearing? And I'm like, I came from a work event, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Because you got to remember, like, where we grew up, how we grew up, you dressed more like Bruce Springsteen than you did.
Yes.
Prep, like Connecticut.
Yeah, no, where I literally it was J. Crew, Banana Republic, and then Farm Clothes. That was what I grew up with. Those are my spectrums. That's where I was at.
I don't think,
but like the real elitist Hartford lawyers, kids, not you, not the Connecticut you type. It's the
other Connecticutians. Yeah, the other ones. All the Dawson's Creek kids.
It all reminds me of Lilliputians. So yeah, we've had some times. I did talk about a story a couple weeks ago with you, AJ, because we always did this to each other. Whenever one of us was hitting on a woman in the bar or something like that, like it's like trial by fire. Like we're gonna throw out as much as we can to pick on that one.
Of course.
And what was it like? We were playing baseball that one time.
You deserved every ounce of that ass whipping you caught.
I do admit that I shouldn't have hit you with the bat the way I did.
Whoa, what?
And the funny thing is, I didn't even like swing the bat. I threw it.
What? That's even worse.
You hit me in the back of the head. He's talking to a girl. We're trying to play a game, and he decides mid-game.
I'm not talking to just any girl. She was like one of the hottest girls in town. And I was like 16 at the time. I was like 15, 16.
I would have thrown you a soft pitch and let you crack a hit so you look good. But no, you're in the box. And he decides, well, pause the game. I'm going to go try to talk to this chick. No, hell no.
But he's out in the outfield just waiting.
So I hit him with the ball, and it was a tennis ball, mind you. I hit him with a tennis ball.
Okay, all right.
And then he hits me with the bat.
Yeah, that's...
No.
You got to amp it up.
So I beat the brakes off him, and he had every ounce of that ass whooping coming. Every ounce of it coming.
Yeah, you earned that one. You can't use a weapon.
He used the weapon. That was a projectile.
I think at one point I was like straddling him, pinning his arms down with my knees, just teeing off on him. Like, no, it's not happening, dude. You hit me with a bat.
But he wasn't. The thing is, he wasn't teeing off on my face. He was the other way, punching me in the stomach as hard as he could, just to really leave it in there.
Because if I left a mark on your face and you went home, we would have gotten in trouble. It's like, you were like a victim. You were like a victim of domestic violence. I just hit you with body shots so nobody would see what I did.
It's like, hit him with a bag of sweet Valencia oranges. Doesn't leave any bruises. Thanks, Bing Crosby.
I'll buy a hot dog from the hot dog truck if you just keep quiet.
Someone's at the door. I don't know what this is. I need to go check real quick.
Oh my God, it's birthday time.
It's birthday thing.
Actually, somebody's at my door. I'll be right back.
Oh my God, it's just me now.
Yep.
All right, everybody. So I hope you're enjoying the stories that we're telling, and I hope we find some really fun stuff that's coming to the door. I didn't send them anything, so I don't know what they're getting. Yeah, we're having a really good time. Let's see what everybody's saying. Jeremy, you're really loving this, man. And I appreciate that. Oh, Casey and I would destroy each other, laugh, high five, and move on. That's always a good way to be with your friends. I miss the old school Mackies. Yeah, me too. I think we have all vomited or been propositioned at Mackey's. Yeah, way too much. Dude, remember that couple when I was looking for a new place to stay in Manassas? Like I was looking for a new apartment, and they had like a basement apartment up for rent, and they're like this really like wealthy couple, and they're swingers, and I didn't know.
Yes, yeah.
And then I went to look at the house, and I'm walking around the apartment with them. And there's like a stripper pole on a stage set up in the basement with all these colorful beanbag chairs all around. And I'm just like, and he's like, we can move that out if you want, but it's kind of fun. And I'm just like, the fuck is happening? Just
here's the funny thing that same couple that you're talking about ended up buying Mackey's from Mackey and turned it into this place called Taps and Apps. It was only open for like 4
I remember
months.
Taps and Apps. That was like
that was the same couple that tried to get you to move in.
Oh, he definitely was all about the taps. I don't know about the apps.
Oh yeah. So, but Manassas is all different now, man. There's it's all like higher end stuff now. There's the only place left is really the Old Town Sports Pub, and that's even has new owners now.
Yeah, I heard what's her name's bought it. Casey was telling me. And excuse me for not remembering your names. It's been a while and I'm a little baked. But
you're baked already?
Dude, I'm baked from the night before.
Good for you, man. And here I am feeling bad that I'm having a beer at 8:00 in the morning. But hey, it's St. Patrick's Day.
It is St. Patrick's Day. I can't really I can because I can be like, damn, alcoholic, calm down. But it is St. Patrick's Day, so it's like you kind of got to do it though.
Yeah, well, so and I don't know if your audience will care. My best friend in the world is Irish as we are. His name's Seamus. So he hit me up like 2 days ago. He's like, hey, I'm having a St. Patrick's Day party, like get together at my house. Do you want to come? Of course, you're my best friend. I'm going to be there. I'm like, what time is it? He goes, 4 p.m. I'm like, are you out of your mind? You have any idea how half in the bag I'm going to be at 4 p.m? You need to have a St. Patrick's Day get together at 11 o'clock because on St. Patrick's Day, Irish people are done by 1 p.m. They're already puking up their corned beef and cabbage.
Oh, they should be done. They usually keep going.
Oh, Mike, my God. They had parade day. Manassas has a St. Patrick's Day parade. I had the kids, so I didn't go out and like get after it. But I went up for about an hour, had some food, had like 2 beers, went home, hanging out with the kids. My wife, Alice Manhattan, gets home, and I'm like, hey, you mind if I go up and hang out for a little bit? She's like, yeah, no problem. It's like 5 in the evening. The people I saw at 9 o'clock in the morning to how they looked at 5 o'clock in the evening, they didn't look the same. They looked like The Walking Dead. It was so bad. I'm like, maybe because we're getting older and we're actually responsible and have families and whatnot. I'm like, how is this fun? Like, you're going to wake up tomorrow and feel like you got run over by a truck. How the hell is this fun?
I stopped drinking after I got my first hangover.
I got my first birthday gift.
What'd you get?
Someone brought me Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know who sent it to me, but bless you.
Mary.
You're a better man than I am. If a stranger sent me Dunkin' Donuts, I'm not drinking it. I'm not eating it.
Not me. It's free.
There's a lot of people out there that don't like me. No.
Casey's I don't know. This could end poorly, but we'll see what happens. There could also be something else in it. Who knows?
Well, Dunkin' Donuts on its face is a natural diuretic. I drink a Dunkin' Donuts coffee every morning. And yes.
It does a 40-year-old body good.
Because
there was a girl that we all knew from Manassas. I remember she said that to me one morning. She was just like, coffee and a cigarette, instant diuretic. And I'm just like, really? Like, that's the first thing you say to me in the morning?
That's hot. Yeah. Talking about it when it's sloshy. Yum, yum.
That's from Jeremy. Enjoy your roofies.
Woohoo.
Oh, it's your birthday. Casey, it's your birthday?
Yes, sir.
Happy birthday, bro.
We partied on March 17th so many times because we were just there. That's why I used to go out as much and as hard as I did, because it was my birthday and everybody was partying.
Well, I don't remember it. It didn't happen.
Dude, do you remember my going away party for college? when we all had it at Kelly's, and like
Yes.
it was like there were so many people there was pouring into the street.
Yes.
And
yes.
I'm like, it's so amazing. Like everyone came out, and it's just a lot of fun. We're having it at Kelly's. And then like I forget, I think it was George who reminded me, it's like, dude, it's St. Patrick's Day. And I'm like, nah, they're all here for me.
So, if you want to tell a funny story, like we've told funny stories about Mike, and you brought up college, Mike, so I feel I have to tell this story.
Oh my God, are you bringing sexy back?
Yes. So I just gotten back from Iraq, and I was in the Outer Banks for about 4 days, and on a whim decided to fly down to Orlando to see my brother. So I get to the airport in Norfolk, Virginia, like an hour and a half, no, 2 hours early. And I start kicking them back at this bar, and they know, hey, you just came home, drinks on the house. Ended up making out with the bartender, ipso facto, nothing. So I get on the plane.
That's not the, oh no, that's not did you just end the story? Did you say I got back on the plane?
No. I got
a lot more to that story.
Well, I'm going to talk about when I landed in Orlando. So,
I'm sorry. I thought you meant
no. This was
you were leaving Orlando at this point and going to another story. I'm like, there was a lot that happened.
I get on the plane, and the captain of the plane, mind you, this is an hour and a half flight from Norfolk to Orlando. They give me a beer, then they give me another one. You're only allowed to have 2 drinks on a flight. Well, then they give me another one and another one. She's like, it's compliments of the captain. I'm like, sweet.
Heck yeah.
So I'm hammered drunk. I have my laptop open. There's only like 30 of us on this plane. I'm blaring Justin Timberlake on my computer because I just don't care at this point.
No, and that was a common theme for the rest of the week.
So I get off the plane in Orlando. Have you ever been, Casey, ever been to Orlando Airport?
I have, yep.
So to get to where you're picked up is a long walk, and I am smashed.
Oh, God.
And I have my green sea bag because I'm a Marine. And out of the corner of my eye, I see a wheelchair. And I'm like, well, it's a lot easier to go down this walkway in a wheelchair. So again, oblivious to everything, I'm wheeling myself down in a wheelchair with my military sea bag in my lap, wheeling down. People are like moving out of the way. Thank you for your service, all this. Never dawned on me. They're thinking like I'm a wounded warrior. Mm-hmm. I wheel outside, and Mike pulls up in his car. Well, I jump out of the wheelchair and dive through the window and give him in front of everyone. Everyone is horrified. And I turn around, and these people just look at me like with sheer disgust. And Mike's like, asshole. They think you got wounded in combat. I'm like, they'll be all right. Take me to the bar.
They'll be all right.
And mind you, he threw his bag through my back window and jumped through my front window. He didn't open the door.
Dukes of Hazzard in his car.
Heck yeah.
No, you head first into the car. So he brings me, like, go. Who cares?
He brings me to the most white trash, not white trash, Florida white trash. So you're talking like, yes.
Bath salts are involved. Yeah.
Oh my God. Like Leonard Skinner on circular play all day. Brings me to this bar.
Well, the Gators are out back comfortable.
Yeah, I go to the jukebox, and I pumped in like $100, and I played nothing but Justin Timberlake and Little John and the East Side Boys in this bar.
And mind you, he's dressed like Magnum PI. And if it's not Magnum PI, he's dressed like Don Johnson from Miami Vice.
I had jeans with flip-flops and a Hawaiian shirt open with no shirt underneath.
When in Florida, baby.
In the world.
He's hitting on everyone. And he's scoring with everyone.
Yes.
Whether they're married, have boyfriends, single, doing whatever, they're all into it. They're like, who is this new blood? And I'm just sitting there like, now mind you, this is a bar where my teachers from college frequent.
Nice.
And when I say he's hitting on everyone,
don't care.
Teachers too, teachers' wives, teachers' girlfriends.
Do it.
Don't care. And
when I said he's successfully doing it, it was a long night in Manhattan. Let's just say
that. Yes. I did achieve the desired goal.
Attaboy.
And
you brought sexy back.
So you talk about I took Mike on the Baton Death March. Mike tortured me because he's in film school.
Mhm.
And he said, hey, we're doing this talk show. And the host bowed out. Can you host this talk show? I'm thinking I'm going to be there for like an hour. 11 hours. I'm sitting there and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm literally, I wish you still had the DVD or the print.
I do. I still have it. Wake Up Orlando.
Interviewing this guy about in like a outdoor surf park. Like he had a wave pool you could surf on. I'm like, what the hell am I doing here? Like,
so AJ had like a natural charisma to host. Mm-hmm. So like I was like, let's just get him, put him in there. He'll be fine. And we all filmed our segments. And it wasn't Wake Up Orlando. It was Get Outside Orlando. It was a show all about just doing activities outside, sports outside, stuff like that. And
not me. I'm trapped in this studio for 11 freaking hours. I wanted to murder him.
So like one of our buddies, Connor, you know Connor, we were in fantasy football and stuff together. He produced the whole show. And the rest of us were segment producers. So like we each had to find our own segment of like getting out. And AJ would host from the studio. Like it was a full, like looked like a Tonight Show sort of studio how it was going.
Yeah, I had a desk, a cup with water in it, the whole nine. It was
nice.
Yeah. Like it was legit. It was like a very cool spot how they did it. And you know, we had the studio cams, like you had the control and stuff. So he's hosting. We have the teleprompter up, and that's all I'm telling him. I was like, just read the teleprompter, you'll be fine. And then like he's there so long and he's getting so tired of it, he starts improving.
Oh, I ad-libbed everything.
And, yeah. He got to a point where like they're cutting to my segment where I'm hosting and I'm at a dirt bike like park where they, you know, do jumps and such. And like at one point in the segment, they had me stand in a ramp and the bike was going to jump over me. But we realized real quick and almost too close for comfort that I'm too tall for the ramp.
Oh,
like,
Lord.
So he was going to hit me in the head. So I had to do it from like a little bit forward, get a forced perspective. So we're getting ready to go to my segment and I'm in studio at the time. We're just going to play it. And there's AJ going, all right, time to get to big polar bear looking Mike over there with some dirt bikes.
Johnny Thunderpants.
Johnny Thunderpants.
And I said, we're going to go over to Johnny Thunderpants. And I went, that's right, ladies. I said Thunderpants.
No,
you heard it.
Said big polar bear looking.
I didn't care. I was done. I just didn't want to do it anymore. And
he
now
just wanted to party.
That head to toe. I'm like, well, if you've got, and first of all, Casey, I don't know if you've ever been in a studio like that. It's hot as hell. I mean,
lights on it. Yeah.
Hot. And I'm sweating and I'm trying not to sweat. Every break, I got some lady patting my face with a napkin. I'm like, get away from me. Like,
no, mind
probably
you,
smelling like you did from the night before, just
absolutely.
As everything's just coming out of you. Oh yeah.
Well, the thing was when we would go out and drink, because I had just gotten back from my rack, so I was in incredible shape. I'd go running every morning. Okay. But I've never gone running in Florida in July.
Yeah.
Holy crap. I would come back. It looked like I just went swimming. And I'm like, yeah. And now he's got me in this. And I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, dude, we've got 2 hours till last call. Like, wrap this shit up. I want to go.
It's getting tight.
It was so funny how upset he was by the end of that shoot. And like I'm trying to tell him, like, dude, this is what we do, like all day. Like we don't have time to go and party or anything. Like
I was like the petulant diva, like Jay Leno. Like I just don't want to be here. I didn't like cameraman. Don't even talk to me. I'm above you. Leave me alone. I just want to go back to the Outer Banks and sit on the beach and have a good time. I just got back from freaking war, man. I'm not here to work. I'm here to have fun.
I just want to hang out, and everybody's over here just yelling at me.
Oh, Mike, and I think he embraced it, like because I think you were like running the whole thing, but he's like, get it together, like just get it together, and I'm like, dude, I didn't come down here to work. Like this is your thing. Like you're into the movie thing. I'm not. I'm into the like cutting down trees and shooting guns. Like leave me alone.
Yeah,
at that point you were a little more prepped. You were more in.
When I first got to his house, I go to the first night I'm at Mike's house down in Florida. I'm laying in bed and I didn't know anything about orange spiders. And I look up and there's this big, giant, friggin' hairy spider on the wall. I lost my mind. I was like, I'm done. Screw winter. We're playing beer pong in his driveway, and all of a sudden there's like 35 cop cars go screaming down his road. I'm like, where the hell did you take me, man? Like, where do you live right now? Because I don't Florida. Screw Florida. I hate Florida.
Yeah.
If it's not you, it's trying to kill you.
Yeah, it's a strange cross section of trying to be Australia.
Yeah,
but with like worse people.
Mm-hmm.
I was at the ATM and a lizard crawled onto my foot and looked at me like it was my fault. Like, I'm just here, man.
He looks up like, I'm walking here. What are you doing? Huh?
Dude, remember we were sitting because like we had a house, so it was like 4 of us who lived in the house, and so we had it all nice set up and stuff. So like we're chilling and we're watching TV one day, and there's like lizards everywhere. They're running, and he goes, why are there so many lizards in your house? I was like, we throw them in here. We're like, we go catch them and throw them in the house. And he's like, why? What are you doing? And I'm like, they eat the bugs. They eat the other stuff that we don't want. So like that was basically our pest control. Is like just go outside, grab a ton of lizards and throw them in the house. Just that's how you take care of it. And like I'm not anxious to get back there or anything.
I'm pretty sure that's not how people in Florida handle pest control. They don't.
Yes, it is, because they all told me to do it that way. Everyone says they were like, you could either call somebody and it's never going to work, or you get lizards and you throw them in your house and they'll eat everything.
And that's why I'm never moving to Florida.
Yep.
I don't blame
yet another reason on the list.
And South Florida is totally different than Western Panhandle Florida. They are every part of Florida. We were in Orlando, so it's Central Florida, which is very different from Eastern Shore Florida, like the Fort Lauderdales or the Southern Miami, and then the Panhandle. The Panhandle is like a completely different world. It is
people right there. Yeah.
No, they're more. I wouldn't even call them swamp. I'd call them. I'd probably say if you hear a Florida man story, I would check, because maybe 65-70% of the time it's coming out of the Panhandle.
See how close it is to Tallahassee? Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah,
Roger that.
it's bonkers. And AJ Cohen there, and like I think that was your first time in Florida, wasn't it?
My second. The first time I was in Miami, because I'm a Miami Dolphin fan, so I went to Miami. Yeah. Went to a Dolphin game, but this is my first time in quote unquote Florida, like the real
Florida proper. Yeah, because in Miami it's like they're trying to be nice there.
Yeah, like, this was the first time I saw a washer and dryer in somebody's front yard.
They were using it.
Yeah, it was an actual usable thing.
Like where they turn the tires inside out, and that's your planter where you put your bushes. Yeah.
Yes.
Like where Mike lived was interesting. That's the best way I could word it. Interesting. But then like
a suburb. That was the funny part.
But then like a mile away was like these beautiful. Remember, we got caught in this almost like hurricane rainstorm with some with some girl Mick is trying to like get together with, and we're trapped in her house during this like downpour thunderstorm. I'm sitting there like, dude, like close the deal and let's go. The weather's not getting any better. He's not closing. I think we were there for like 3 hours, and I'm like, I know her dad
trying to just close the deal. I actually liked that girl.
Well, I know her dad was pissed because I drank a bottle of his Johnny Walker Gold.
Oh my god, dude! There were so many times we would end up at these, like because AJ and I would go out because we were so close in age. We would go out quite a bit, and we lived close to each other at that age. Like when we were in our later teens, early 20s, and we would meet girls and things would happen. But we would always end up back in their place, and there would always be some roommate that AJ was eventually going to piss off beyond control. And usually in a weird way, it was a male roommate, usually because he liked one of the girls, usually the one AJ was with, and AJ would let him know how this was going to go, and he goes, don't worry, you can listen to the whole thing later. And then and then I'm just sitting there pissed off at this guy, like, You really think you're getting near my brother? And like you think this is gonna work? Go ahead, get me. And like and I think there was an enforcer thing there because a lot of these guys were always just like, and even at bars, like a lot of these guys would like AJ would be pissing him off because he would be like wooing these women because he could talk. He was good at talking. And like, if Casey, you've seen me.
My wife isn't here right now.
you've seen me and how I can talk. I'm pretty good at it.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Like when it comes to AJ back in the day with women, you know, like he is family man now. It's a completely different.
Oh no, now he's family man. But I was a bartender in those days too.
He saw
definitely.
Oh yeah, I don't know what I'm more telling the audience, not so much Casey.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. I'm playing the audience today.
It's I'm more directing. Yes, you're my audience member today, but I know you know it. You've been in a lot of these stories. So
I'm the quiet guy in the background who is always just feeding the beer during the story, going, whoa.
I want to see where this goes.
I know what a great idea is. One more round.
Let's roll the die on this one.
I you know what? At that point, I blame you for all of the poor life decisions from 2013 to 2016. I blame you.
No, that's valid.
That's
I can own that. I can own that.
If only I had a friend bartender who was like, AJ, I wouldn't do that if I was you.
So let me tell you.
You don't get that with me. You get the guy who's like, you know what's a better idea? More. You should do more.
But like way back in the day, AJ, I felt like knew because I was bigger than them. Like sophomore year of high school, I was like 6'1", so I was bigger than my brothers like early. He only got away with beating me up because like I was awkward tall, and like for years they were already beating me up. So I was like,
they already knew how to do it. So,
I'm gonna, like this is gonna happen. I didn't realize my own strength till later. So, but we would go out, and like I realized once we all started going out, AJ realized I need to stop treating him to be afraid of like him and start treating him like he has no fear and he'll just like enforce the whole situation. So because outside of that we were always fighting, like where we grew up, like it just kind of happened. It's the way it was. And so I wasn't a bad fighter, but I was just AJ and George just knew how to psychologically keep me at bay, like I was a kid in a closet, like trapped. And
they R. Kelly'd you.
No, I realized it the first time Mike hit me back, and I was like, "Oh damn, that hurt really bad." Like, you know what? If Mike gets mad, I'll get my shots in, but this dude is really gonna hurt me. He's a polar bear. He's huge, and I'll never forget.
Our father realized that too when I got to a certain age.
And one time, our older brother George was pissed off at Mike for some reason. It was probably we were drinking. He was pissed. He's like, "I'm going to kick his ass." And I went, "George, he will throw you through a window without even trying. Like 6'8", 270 pounds. He will destroy you. Leave it alone." So I'm going to kick his ass. I'm like, "You're really not. Like, just don't."
And it's like Lucky the Leprechaun from the Lucky Charms commercials coming after Cocaine Bear.
Yeah. And he kept going. And at some point, because we're Kimballs, we put the function in dysfunctional. I'm like, well, go ahead and do it. And he goes after Mike, and I think Mike literally like picked him up and was like, "That's enough." Of course, me, because I have a warped brain, I'm like egging it on. I'm like, "Nah, man, you can't let him do that." Like,
like I did pick him up to his feet. So my brother's getting mad. Like once I reached 6'8", they would get mad because like I had the capability. Like I didn't want to hit them, I didn't want to hurt them or anything. So I would pick them up, and like there's nothing an Irishman hates more than their feet dangling. So
once again, I can also attest this is something else I've seen. Is when y'all's brother has actually been picked up, and to see his reaction, he does not deal with that well at all.
Well, Mike got into it. There's a guy who hangs out in Manassas.
I used to pick them both up when I was drunk and like dancing around. They would get so mad trying to escape and they couldn't.
And this guy in Manassas, Casey, I know you know who he is. His name's Robbie. I won't say his last name.
Okay.
Oh God.
And this guy gets drunk, and likes to run his mouth a lot. So for some reason, in his infinite, he's from Philly. He's a Philly guy. And
That's why.
The infinite stupidity goes at Mike. And Mike, this is when you were like just down in Virginia, like full time. We were at the pub. And he tells Mike, like, come out, meet me outside. And Mike's like, okay. And Mike walks outside. So I'm sitting there with George. And George is like, oh, we got to go outside. You know, Mike's about to get into something. And I'm like, why? Well, we got to back him up. I'm like, why? He's like, oh, you know, he's 6'8". We don't need to back him up. He's fine. He's fine. So I walked outside. George is like getting ready to get into it. I'm just leaning against the pillar at the pub. I'm like, man, it's gonna be fine. I'm not worried about it. And I guess this kid finally got like his like that moment of sobriety, and he's like, oh wait, yeah, this guy's enormous. Like I'm gonna leave.
I gotta go. And my thing was like I said, we got into our fair share of fights, especially hanging out in dive bars and such. And when I knew I had to go, it was 5 shots of Jack and then let's go. Just point me in the direction. And it was just chaos.
That's why I don't drink hard liquor anymore. I haven't
pure
drank
havoc.
10 years.
So like,
Good
and
job.
they knew, and I knew the sign. Like sometimes I'd order it if I knew something was coming, because I wanted to barrel through and not feel anything. So, but if they needed me to, it was almost like Popeye and his spinach. They were like, all right, we need him on point. And then like George or AJ would be like 5 shots of Jack in front of the big guy. And then like,
in front of the big guy.
they'd line it up and they'd pour it and then bing, 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 like right down the line. And then I'd turn around and I'd say, who? And, and no, they wouldn't even say that guy. They would say them. And oh, dude. Oh, wait, what's the statute of limitations on assault on a group of people?
Oh, you're fine, dude. You're
On a group of people, it's because it's different if it's assault on one person or a group.
Yeah, it was a group. So remember the branch? Remember that night at the branch?
The olive branch?
Yeah.
Yeah, where we brawled in the parking lot.
Yeah. Remember how it started? So like AJ was getting stared at by this guy because he's hitting on women, and George and I are sitting there, and George is like arms crossed, putting his beer down. That's
the standard.
Like, and like George,
everybody knows it.
So like I'm happy drunk, I'm having a good time. George is daggers at the guy who's sending daggers at AJ who's hitting on girls. AJ is like, I doubt they're looking at me. So he's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. And then if like, you know, they look in my direction or something, like just the signs. So AJ goes to the bathroom. Clearly they want to go after him. The guy talks some shit to AJ. George is pissed.
It's on.
I order 5 shots of Jack because I figure we're going, because there was like 15, 20 of them, of those guys. And there was 3 of us. And I'm telling you right now, I'm giving you the Quentin Tarantino surprise ending. We won. So, so it was AJ against that guy. It was George against another guy. And it was me against the other 18. And we won. So,
sorry, what was that, AJ?
Then we had to get in the car and get the hell out of there because
we had to get the hell out of Dodge. So it wasn't our fault because AJ's like, dude, can we just be cool about it? Like AJ tried. Like he went to the guys like, can we just be cool about this? We don't need to have this. In the bar, he's saying it. He's like, I'll buy you a drink. He's like, it will be fine.
I said, if you have an issue, obviously they outnumbered us. I said, if you have an issue, you and I can go outside and we'll just handle it one-on-one. And he didn't want that because maybe in his mind he knew he was about to catch his ass whipping. But
they always know.
And then
never trust the guy who's walking up and talking to you nicely about
right,
it. I think that's
I mean, in case he's seen some of my shenanigans, I always try to mellow things out. I don't want to fight.
Truth.
Yeah. But if it gets to that point, okay,
scrap
you and me. I don't care about your friends. Don't worry about my brothers. Just you and me. You beat me. You beat me. I beat you. I beat you. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I feel so foolish talking about this at 44 years old, but
hey, we were all kids.
This guy was just like all about his friends. And I'm like, well, I think us 3, well, 3.5, because I got a 6'8" monster behind me. I think we can handle this. I'm not really too worried about it.
No. Remember, so what happened was, I just to amend it a little bit because it's almost like an action movie. It was hilarious. So while all this is going down, I see what's happening. 5 shots of Jack. I'm in. I'm like, I've already dialed in and I'm like, I'm ready to go. So AJ and George come out the front of the bar. They went out the side of the bar. We didn't realize how many they had at that point. They come around the front, right? And then I come out right behind them, and they both turn towards each other and see all 20 guys outside. And like they turn towards each other and like, we need to run, we need to go. And when they turn back, I'm throwing people through car windows. I'm throwing them up against walls. Like I charged all 20 of them and was just throwing. And I grabbed the one guy that AJ wanted to fight and I threw him at AJ. And then I threw another guy at George just to give him something to do. And I just was pummeling the rest of them.
Giving something to do.
They were like, this isn't worth it. And they ran away.
Oh my God.
So in hindsight with Mike, when Mike gets mad, so George is a
Don't
wrestler.
hurt my family, and it's fine.
George is a wrestler. George likes to take people down. I boxed. Mike, I'm good with my hands. When Mike starts, and Mick. When Mick starts,
It's fine.
he doesn't throw like crisp punches. It's more like big bear paws coming down on you. And
I got some haymakers.
It's like a sledgehammer coming down on you.
Yeah.
Like, and when you see it and you're like, oh, dang, my brother's in a fight, but you're laughing at the same time. It's so hilarious because this poor person he's pummeling is like, it's like Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back. It's just blah, blah, blah.
At one point,
you got to go, Mick, like, stop. He's dead. Like, leave him alone.
he's not dead. That never happened. At one point, I flipped the guy onto the trunk of a car. Right, it was like an old school car. I flipped him over onto the trunk of a car, and there was garbage cans, like the old metal garbage cans, right there from the bar.
That's right. You put him in a garbage can.
Another two guys. No, I did, but not at this point yet. So
hold on, that's 20 seconds later.
Two more guys. I didn't pull a Sonny Corleone, which I would have loved to have done, but two more guys are running at me while I'm like pummeling him, right? On top while he's laying on the thing, and I'm just like hitting onto him like old school WWE style, like how these guys were just hitting each other for real, but we called it fake, you know. Right. And then I see these guys out of the peripheral coming at me, and I grab the lid for one of the cans, and I just start smacking him in the face with it while continuously pummeling the guy. Then I picked him up because he was done. I threw him into the garbage can, and then I turn around and I just start wailing on the other two until they run away.
Picture for your audience who are wrestling fans, picture Rey Mysterio fighting Andre the Giant. That's what it looked like.
Holy cow.
And of course, we're the older brothers. We're supposed to be like the protectors. And it's like, it's just so damn funny. Like, I'm in the middle of a bar fight. I probably got punched in the face like 3 times. The guy he threw to me, I knocked him out. And I'm laughing because I'm like, this is hilarious. Like, and I'm thinking in my head, like, this is a story. Nobody's going to believe this. Like, probably thinks we're lying.
Right, I hope that's true. I hope right now that's very true. Nobody believes it.
Like the stories we tell. Like, I could write a book called The Manhattan Brothers and the stuff that we've done. And they're like, there's no way that happened and you didn't go to jail. It's like, no, that happened. It really. Like, I used to hit
the first punch. None of us threw even when I charged at the guys. I didn't throw the first punch. Some dude wailed off and hit me in the face. But that was the thing. I don't like starting fights.
He's punching way up.
So I didn't like starting fights. Like, and in fact, it was the guy that AJ wanted to fight. I was charging at them.
I didn't want to fight.
I wasn't charging. I wasn't running like a bull. I was walking.
I wanted to bang his girlfriend. I didn't want to fight her.
I'm a lover, not a fighter, until you throw a punch in my face.
So that guy he hit me in the face, and I threw him at AJ. I was like, that's your problem. And then that's when I kind of like went after him, and they started hitting me first. I don't like to start fights. I don't want to get into it. I don't want to do that. If I don't have to fight, I won't. But if you push me enough, I will. And that's really only if like you hurt my family.
That's how it always was. I mean, there's plenty of times. George and I have done it. Mike and I have done it. George and Mike have done it. Where we'll be going at it with each other. And Casey, you've seen me and George go at it. It takes to hold us back.
Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough time. When you guys meant it, it was bad.
Yeah, but the second somebody gets involved, it's like not like for the truth or transparency. George and I aren't super close, but if George is out and somebody touches my family, this is how we were raised. It's like, no, hell no. Not only no, hell no.
Yeah.
And I could hate your guts, but that's you put a hand on my brother, it's over. You put a hand on my sister, forget it. The whole plan's coming.
Remember?
Well, now you disappear. Now you disappear. If you touch the sister, it's you're not going to be heard from again.
That's how we were raised. And it's weird because we grew up in a bar. Like we grew up in the wagon wheel in Jersey City. That's why Mick and I are so good at playing pool, because that's where we learned how to play pool, which I'd love to bring you down to Manassas and make some money with you. But
we should all do that sometime. Have a pool night.
It was
I'll play pool. I don't hustle anymore.
It was always, be cool, but when it's time not to be cool, our father taught us, don't start it, end it.
Yep.
And that weird mentality, which I don't really have anymore, I'd rather just walk away, was, all right, if you start it, be prepared for what's going to happen. And again, when you were in your 20s or your early 30s, it was cool. When you're in your 40s and you got a mortgage and kids and things to lose, it's kind of like, yeah, man, this isn't worth it. And I see it now, because at least once a week I'll go out after work. I'm at the pub at 10 o'clock at night, and these young kids, they're looking for either to hook up or to fight. And I'm like, for what, man? What, like, you're stupid. But I think, wow, that used to be me. And I used to be that guy. And it's just, they're good stories to tell, but it should be a call for your audience. Like, it's just dumb. It's so dumb.
Remember when you pissed me off that time, and there was like a dryer outside, and it was like on the side of the road, and I just like got mad at you, and I picked it up and threw it at you. You were pissing me off. You were head to towing me the entire time, just treat me like crap. And I was like, I don't know why, I just got real mad, and I saw a dryer, and I was like, I'm gonna throw this at.
That would be another time I realized, yeah, they probably should leave the big guy alone.
Yeah, don't fight with the big guy anymore.
And it wasn't like I picked it up and dropped it like 10 feet away from him. I threw it at him. I was like, I'm gonna get you.
Oh my God.
And it didn't like hit him. It landed before him, but like it landed close enough where he was like, all right.
Yeah. Man, like, let's go get some Burger Express and watch a movie in your basement.
Remember Burger Express? Remember the night you got
punched in the face at the drive-thru?
Punched in the face at the drive-thru.
Dude, we're going through the drive-thru.
Wait, can we tell the story while I get in trouble?
No. It's okay. Mick, me, and my then girlfriend. And we went out. We're going through the drive-thru, and a kid walks in the drive-thru to get food. And all I did was honk at him like, hey, man, I'm trying to get my order. And I turned to my girlfriend. I'm like, this idiot's walking through the...
He was going to steal our food.
As I turned back, boom, I got punched. In fact, my tooth is still chipped from it. This kid rocked me. Like, he rocked me. And it took a second for me to get my bearings. And I look up, and the polar bear has got him in the drive-thru just whomping on him.
I picked him up at one time by his neck.
He was wearing the funniest part is
holding him up. And like, because like at this point, I don't know if he's hurt.
Right.
I'm seeing red. This kid came at, and like as soon as I was going at him, he threw punches at me. So I started hitting him, tagged him up a bit, and then lifted him up. And his friend, who was shit talking the entire time, is sitting there, and he's just like, "You're killing him! Stop!" And
You're killing him!
Losing his neck. I'm just holding him up. Is really what it comes down to. And he's like, "You're killing him." I was like, "He's talking, like he's crying. Like, calm down. He's not dying."
You're gonna have a Con Air moment, Casey.
Here's the caveat: I'm a police officer at this point. I'm already on the job, and he hit me, and I had to remind myself very quickly that I'm a police officer, because I got out of the car and I said to Mike, I was like, "Hold him," because I was going to destroy him.
Here we go.
And I ran towards him. I'm like, "Wait a minute. Can't do that anymore." Get in the car. We got to go.
Dude, I walked back to the car, and I looked, and the people from Burger Express are getting mad at me. And they're like, "Hey, get out of here. What are you doing?" And I was like, "Just give us our food so we can leave. It's their fault." And then like they gave us our food. We went home and watched Aqua Teen Hunger Force and ate.
Yes, that's amazing.
So what you need to do, Mike, if you won't get
Jeremy says the sun's getting real low.
Like the whole... That's
time to calm you down.
Sun's getting real low, big guy.
So I guess everybody, let's go to comments real quick because I want to hear what you have to say, AJ. But Sturdy's all in.
Yep.
Jace Taylor says, this is the best episode. AJ needs to be on more. I got an image of Mick throwing someone and saying, you look bored. Here's something to do. This is freaking epic. We need AJ on every Friday. I don't know about that. We get bad real fast. That's exactly how family should be. My sisters and I are exactly the same way. You F with them, it's game over time. And we have come full circle, gentlemen. Reference back to the last week. Always be nice.
Yep, always be nice, because also as we get older, you could throw your back out. You could break your hand when you're trying to throw fists. There's all sorts of health problems we have to concern ourselves with. That's why now I prefer sleeping. And when I say that, I mean jump on the back and put them in a sleeper hold, lock them out, get them down quick, and run.
I prefer I have a mortgage and I'm not getting in trouble mentality, because it hurts getting out of bed in the morning, let alone getting. My wife calls it. My wife's also a police officer. She calls it the check engine light. So somebody will run for me. Somebody will run for me at work, and I'll go and I'll chase him. I'm like, yeah, I caught him, and then I go around the corner and I throw up and I'm my back. I'm too old for this. And she's like she'll come up and laugh at me. Like, I could have just gotten into a fight at work arresting somebody, and she'll laugh and she'll be like, check engine light. I'm like, yep.
Honestly, AJ, I can see it going from you were Riggs at one point. You're full on Murtaugh now. Like, I'm too old for this shit.
I am Murtaugh personified. 18 years of this. I'm like, if you're 15 and you run, I'll see you tomorrow.
Good luck, kid.
The best shirt.
Yep, there it is.
Yep. Nope.
That's amazing.
I will tell you, it got to a point for me where, and it was funny because like it got to a point where people were just like, I'm gonna mess him up, and like everyone just kind of knew at that point, was just like, no, you're not. Like, calm down, dude. Like, just leave him alone. You're gonna get hurt. But I'm so glad I'm out of it. I'm like teddy bear. That's all I want to be. I don't fight anybody. I want to do anything.
Are you a teddy bear or are you a polar bear?
He's polar bear.
No. He called our father a polar bear one day, and I went, Mick, why are you calling him a polar bear? He goes, he's big, white, and stupid.
That's not
right. He hides his nose, and he hides real good.
Can I tell the Deacon story?
Which one's the Beacon story?
The Deacon story, where I've never
seen. No.
Oh my God, my father was going to murder him. That's all I'm going to say. My father.
All right, tell the story. Fine.
So my father is our father, I'm sorry, is very religious. He's very hardcore Catholic, goes to church every day, and he became a deacon in the Catholic Church. So as Catholics, all we thought was like a deacon is like a Baptist or a Methodist or something like that.
I'm sorry, David. You just signed on.
Morning, David.
So our father's telling us about that, and I'm like, Dad, what's a deacon do in the Catholic Church? And without skipping a beat, the funniest thing that has ever come out of Mick Manhattan's mouth.
It's true.
And I had to try. Now, for transparency, our father's 6'4".
Yeah.
Without missing a beat, Mick Manhattan goes, he holds down the little boys for the priests. I've never seen my father move that fast. Remote was flying across the living room. I've never seen Mick Manhattan run that fast. And I think we can all attest Mick Manhattan is not a runner. I've never seen him run that fast in my life. I'm trying to hold our father back. Mick darts out the back door, refuses to come home. He's like, can I stay with you? Hilarity. Funniest, till this day, in 44 years of my life, funniest thing I have ever heard come out of Mick Manhattan's mouth. And as a man, I'm a faithful man, but I have a sense of humor. Hilarious.
Just the idea of seeing old GK just flying, just moving as fast as he can. Oof.
Nobody could make my father run more than me.
Oh my God.
I didn't even have to say things like that. Some days I could just wake up and say, morning.
There was none of our father's children could needle him the way Mick Manhattan could. Just like with one word.
He hated me, man.
One word just set him off. And
you know how you look at somebody and you're just disgusted by them? That is how I woke up for like a lot of years.
Every time he did it, because we're evil and we were evil older brothers, we would egg it on. And it would just be
I guarantee you they would say to each other, let's see if Mike's going to get beat today.
His mother, my stepmother, Linda, an amazing woman. I love her to death. Would always, Mick, stop. And he would just keep going. And we're like, no, Mick, keep going. Do it again. Do it again.
This is better than the toy and the Frosted Flakes.
Let me tell you something. I had on my wall a sign that said, this many days since Mick got an ass whooping. And it was always perpetually set at 0.
It got up to 2 once. That was a banner week.
Here's the best part. He was the best one of all of our father's sons. Our older brother constantly got in trouble. I got in a ton of trouble. Mick got in no trouble. Never had an interaction with the police. Never got suspended from school, but always caught the ass whooping.
I remember
you got beat because I gave him an atomic wedgie in the front yard of the house, and I didn't get smacked because he was screaming and yelling because I literally had his underwear up to his ears.
Oh my God.
And our father smacked him for screaming. Meanwhile, his underwear stretched out.
And when I say smacked, remember that bear paw thing we were talking about?
Yeah. Yeah. Old GK's got a big old hand. Yes, sir.
It was like one of those scenes from like Creed when he gets hit and he's actually like really gets knocked out. Remember that time we were doing
We all need counseling, by the way. Deep.
Oh, I go every week.
This is our counseling.
I love my therapist. He helps me in many ways. That's why I can still talk to Dad.
Your therapist must be a functioning alcoholic hearing these stories. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my God, I told him some doozies
And
yesterday.
we're giving you, to your audience, we're giving you the PG version. The R-rated version.
So much more we'll never tell.
Well, that's the reason all of these stories are only 3 minutes, because I've heard the 25-minute versions when we're all drunk having beers talking about.
Oh, you've heard them. Yeah, you
We
know
all
them.
talk about how Mick, me, and George all live in igloos because we're Eskimos, if you understand the meaning of that.
AJ's like Cornelius from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer when we would go out, and he's just like, the Bumble, and then I'd walk in.
Oh shit! Singing silver and gold, silver and gold. Yeah, that's George hanging out, silver and gold.
Oh,
Oh no,
in trouble.
I'm popular. I'm sorry, guys.
that's
No,
all
it's
right.
all
It
good.
happens.
What's
it like?
Since we're almost coming to the close, it's we're having some fun telling stories. Yeah, I did not think it was going to go this far, but
This has been amazing.
Yeah, I heard I
Scratch the
was
surface
going
either.
to tell the story and then get kicked out of the room. That's what I was told. But
Well, yeah. I mean,
I
it's
let
just
it
that
go.
story went on for an hour and 45 minutes.
I was like,
It's a great story.
Dude, I'm fairly certain I have diabetes now because of my brothers. There was a point where they
it's our fault you're diabetic. It's our fault.
yeah, you guys used to feed me sugar like it was going out of
I
style.
don't, first of all, nobody held a gun to your head and told you to eat the stuff you ate. Okay.
AJ, do you really want to go there?
I mean,
Do you want to recount some things?
Wait, did you ever eat a worm? Because those are fun.
I
What
did.
kind of weird brother stuff did you guys do?
I did, but that wasn't with AJ and George.
So the atomic wedgie in the front yard, that's a good one.
Oh God, there was
Were there any?
Rochambeau was always a good one. We played
No.
Rochambeau a
That
lot.
was not a good one.
It's a miracle we all have children.
Oh, I can't tell you. It's so funny because
That was a gimme. That was a gimme. And George was famous for. He did it to me a lot. Where if I'd be talking to a girl at a bar, and he would just come up and whap.
Whoa!
George is really famous for that.
Well,
he always
He
had
did
a
that
car
one
truck.
time. He did that one time when I was actually working. It was one of my favorites because I gave him a beer at the end of the bar, and he looked over and saw you right at the other corner, and he goes, "Watch this," and he just walks over. Then you're like, "Hey, bro," and he just smacks you square in it. And
If George is
I mean,
like
you dropped like a
scratching-
sack of hammers, man. It was
funny
rough.
part is
George
that-
is scratching his chest, you know it's coming.
So
You
the
know it's
funny
gonna
part
hit.
is, I could give it to Mike, and Mike could give it back to me, and it's all in the game. George could give it. George could never take it. Oh, if you did it to him, it was like thermonuclear. I'm pissed. I'm gonna beat you up. If you made fun of him in public, if you clowned him in front of a girl, if you nut checked him in front of a girl, it was like he wouldn't talk to you for like a week. Like he'd be that mad.
Yeah.
You know,
mind you,
Your version is
just-
perfect, AJ.
we're with George, and it's true. With that, George, especially in front of like girls when we were all single, he didn't like that. He didn't like looking like a fool.
Yeah.
My line was at fool. Like I knew I was going to talk to this girl, and if they were there, I just have to enter it like I'm a court jester because they're not going to let me be anything else. So I was like, I'm going to just use my funny and go with that route. But like, yeah, that there were some. Oh my God. And on the hitting in the nuts point, it's funny. I have 2 sons, and you know, whenever they're going at it, I'm like, I'm actually wondering when they're going to get to a point where they hit one of them hits the other one in the nuts.
it'll be hilarious.
And I told my wife that I was like, they haven't hit each other in the nuts yet. And she goes, yeah, you're not supposed to. And I was like, when I was a kid, it seemed pretty regular. Like it seemed like that was the thing that just happened. Like you're supposed to do it. I was hitting the nuts growing up. Like, he's right. I don't know why I have kids.
And it's surprising now that we have kids is my daughter is like the newest version of the Manhattan Brothers because my daughter picks at my son so bad. And, you know, you have to like be the parent. But when she says things sometimes that I have to tell her not to say it while I'm simultaneously laughing my ass off. Like we went to Tony's Pizza on a Sunday after church families in there, whatever. And my son's not, you know, he went through his growth spurt, puberty, he got a little thick. And I was telling him, like, you know, you got to go outside and exercise. And without missing a beat, my daughter goes, exercise, more like extra fries.
Whoa.
That's an AJ line if I've ever heard one. That is 1,000% an AJ line.
So my son's all upset. Now I have to tell my daughter, like, what you said was mean. She's upset. The church parents are looking at me like I'm the worst dad ever on the planet, while I'm simultaneously biting a hole in my lip, trying not to laugh. And I'm thinking of Dave Chappelle, where it's like, that's not something you would say. That's something I would say.
I'm not even 100% sure that you haven't said it to me.
It was so damn funny.
Oh my
And I'm like, oh crap, there goes the mini me.
Yep. On fire. En fuego.
Dude, yeah, we've had some fun
man.
escapades in our years. And
This was fantastic.
This was fun storytelling.
Yes. AJ, this is always one of my favorite parts. We did this in our last show when we were part of it. You know, it's great to have. It's wonderful to have you, my friend. Thank you so much for coming on.
You guys, your show's awesome. Keep up the good work. And if your audience wants me, I'm available next Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Just saying.
I think we should definitely make this once a quarter. I think we should get AJ in here once every couple months. We'll get AJ in here with some good Manhattan stories or future Manhattan stories. What we would do that we regret not doing.
Seen Cocaine Bear? Is it worth it? Should I go watch it?
Yes.
Amazing.
One of those that's
amazing.
So bad, it's good.
It's good. Go watch it. It's so
Hey, honestly,
the last recommendation, well, not really recommendation, Mick gave me. I watched Halloween Ends, that dumpster fire of a movie.
I didn't recommend that.
Oh no, we talked about it afterwards. Trash. They made Michael Myers look like a pumpkin.
Yeah, they made Michael Myers not Michael Myers.
Yeah,
exactly.
His name's Corey Cunningham now.
Terrible movie. So, all right, guys. Well, you guys go do your thing. Your audience was cool. I really appreciate it. And Mick, I'll bust you in the nuts next time I see you.
Hey, don't do that. We're done. We're past it.
All right, guys.
All right. Thanks, AJ.
Later, friend. Thanks, AJ.
Later, guys.
Patty say.
So,
whoo, that was amazing.
That was a hell of a storytelling time.
It was. I love when AJ gets on. That was also a good rehash because you and I are well beyond those years now. We no longer hearken back to those old days. I don't even haunt some of those old places that still reside within me. And it's nice to hear that again. It's good to have that catch up and be like, oh wow, we did survive that. I don't know how, but we made it through.
That was, yeah, that barely scratched the surface because like all these stories kept flooding in, and I was like, nah, I gotta vet these.
I gotta vet these.
I can't jump in on this. I'm not ready to commit.
Oh man,
I need to know where it goes.
And I was always grateful to be able to just be, window watching. It was wonderful. It's like I had my own movie theater for a good 2 years just watching you guys.
You were the Sam Malone. You had to chill behind the bar. You had to do your thing. And sometimes try to bang Rebecca.
Hey, there was always an option. It was always on the table.
It's fair. So, all right. It's your birthday. St. Patrick's Day. I want to hear, what does Casey have planned? Before we go, I want to hear what you have planned for your birthday. What are you doing?
Well, my friend, I've officially hit a milestone. This is the 4th decade I am now entering in existence on this earth, so it's pretty exciting. I have spent this entire week at work. So today I plan on going and showering for probably an hour. Then I'm going to maybe sit down in my nice recliner and watch a movie. I haven't decided which movie. I'm still kind of on Blue Steel. Like, I want to watch something that I just haven't watched that harkens back to a younger era, and I want to enjoy it. And then I'm going to strap in that kilt, and I'm going to fire up the old engine. I'm going to see what I still got left in the tank, and I'm going to head over to a Caps game this evening and watch the Capitals face off against the St. Louis Blues.
I love it. That's going to be a lot of fun for you, man. And, we want to say happy birthday, all of us. Come on, guys. So let's sing happy birthday. I mean, it's just going to be me because nobody else is here.
I remember they'll sing the original.
What?
Can't sing the original. They'll sue us.
I know.
Okay.
I'm gonna change it up. Happy Existence Day. You suck. No. Happy birthday.
Oh, wait. Are we turning it into DX?
Oh my God.
Suck it.
I love it. Happy birthday. Oh,
Happy birthday.
I'm just going to say happy birthday because I can't sing.
Happy Suck It Day. Hey-o. Which technically was March 14th.
You got to come over, man. You're coming over Sunday. I got your present here.
Yes, on Sunday we're going to have a whole day. So today I'm excited to get into birthday mode. Tomorrow I'm excited to get into recovery mode because I don't know what it's going to be like, and I'm old now. And then, but I'm also going to be gentle. It's not like I'm going out and getting hammered. I'm going to go out and have a beer at the game. So it's a very different experience.
Honestly, like, I'm so much at that age now where it's like, if I'm getting invited out someplace like a bar or a game or something like that, I pop a couple of gummies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, same.
I'd rather ride that wave than be drunk. Like,
well,
go ahead.
And one of the reasons I enjoy doing that is because you pop a gummy. I have a huge brownie here that I was gifted as well. Got a couple other other treats because I enjoy doing that because I'll do that more. Go out to a bar and I will only drink a beer. Like, my body doesn't want it. It physically will just not. It's not a thing. I'm more like, I need water. So it's
that's very fair, and I get that, man. It hits you at a certain point. So, yeah, but I go out, have an amazing birthday, my friend. Thank you for doing this with me. Thank you for joining in.
Love you, brother. Always want to do this. It's so wonderful. We get to interact with everybody. This is who we are. I would rather spend my birthday with you on air 24 hours for that whole day because you're one of my favorite human beings, Mick.
All right. Well, you're not going to the Caps game then. We're just going to continue on.
Let's go.
Get back here. Let's tell some more stories.
Impromptu 28-hour show.
Oh, my God. Oh, and Casey, not Casey, Sturdy, to what you said earlier, I meant to get to it. You were asking about the footage of that talk show. When we make 5,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel, I will release all my old movies and shows and stuff like that. So, but we got to get that 5,000 subscriber mark first.
I mean, you already hit out Second Grade to Love, which, quite frankly, I believe is the opus day of Mick Manhattan's movie making
the worst
career.
one.
Well, no, it's actually not Second Grade to Love. It is definitely the making of Second Grade to Love, behind the scenes for the Three Bro Show. That, my friend. Well, I just need to. Well, because I often. When
I wrote this movie, there's no wonder I'm running an independent film festival now. Like, it
clearly
in that mold.
100%. And in fact, if you don't open the Blue Ridge or Skyline Indie Film Fest with Second Grade to Love, I'll be disappointed.
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair. I don't blame you.
Opening night.
That's what's going to be. Who did this? Why is it in this festival?
Yeah, don't know. Do.
Now you know why my name's Mick Manhattan now.
Shimmy out.
I didn't do crimes. I think it's crimes of the eyes.
Heyo. This is a different type of crimes against humanity.
Well, it's been another fantastic week of just hanging out and telling fun stories. And we hope everybody enjoyed it and had a good time and has us happy and safe, like Casey said. St. Patrick's Day today. Don't mess around. Just go out and just have a good time. But before I let Casey take it away, I want to remind everybody that on April 14th, our next big event, the Scene Snobs Casters for a Cause Fundathon, will be happening. That is a Friday. How it's going to work out is we're going to do our 3-hour morning show. Mm-hmm. And then we're going to schedule all the other shows to take over. It's going to go till 11 p.m. that night. Casey and I will finish off in the last hour. We will be hosting in between. It's going to be a great time. It's on the Scene Snobs channel. It is for a great cause. Multiple Sclerosis Association of America. I got to say it right. So if you guys want to be a part of it or something like that, if you have a show, we'd love to have you. We're looking for not just podcasters. We're looking for comedians, looking for anything. Like if you have anything that you feel like you would want to do for like half hour, 45 minutes or so, please reach out to us. We'd really appreciate it.
Absolutely. If you're a fan who would like to hop on for a 15-minute segment and just say, hey, with us, I think we're going to try to make that happen. Maybe do a little ultimate fan experience version for our Patreon members.
I think we're trying to get a reunion together.
We're working on a reunion. We're working on the reunion with me. And we'll see how it goes. So far, so good. Looking good.
The three amigos are back now.
I wouldn't.
What's that?
I would not. Oh,
you're there. You're there.
Yeah. Amigos works for Amiga, but Amigos for the reunion that I'm talking about, I would not use Amigos.
Happy St. Patrick's Day!
Yay!
Oh, thank you.
Oh, and a Reba Biba.
Oh, it's green. It's so pretty. So yeah. So guys, check out Cast for a Cause. Will be coming up very fast in April. Also Warp Factor Fiction, our new show. Star Trek, it's a Patreon exclusive show. I know there's a lot of other great sci-fi Patreon exclusive shows out there. Hopefully you'll find some entertainment in the one that we do. We are just trying to do the best we can. So
just having a good time and hoping you enjoy yourselves.
So I'm going to let Casey take it away because it's his birthday and he always gives the best sign off. So go right ahead, my friend.
I appreciate him. Thank you, my friend. And I appreciate you. And thank you so much for letting me do this and us working together in this, as we always do, my wonderful friend. Thank you so much. It is that time of day, my friends, where you must venture forth without your scene snob brethren and must go forth and propagate and be well, proliferate, do well, and do amazing, wonderful things. Make sure today on this St. Patrick's Day and this weekend, as always, you're safe, you take care of yourself, be kind to yourself, and be kind to each other. Love and appreciate y'all.
Great one. And because Sturdy commented this, go check out their show. It's Horror Night with the Scary Snobs. I talked about it earlier. I haven't added it to the end title sequence cards yet, but guys, it's a really fun show and you should check it out.
Scary Snobs all day.
All day. Hey guys, Mick here. Thanks so much for watching the show and supporting us. We appreciate it. We appreciate you coming back and joining in the comments. But guys, I really want to thank you, our patrons who are out here supporting us, helping us keep the lights on. Really, truly appreciate you. Tim, Paul, Stacy, Matt, Aaron, AJ, George G3, Chris S, Dale, Chris H, Dan, John B, Ron, Jason, and John W. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Guys, we have 3 tiers available right now. As of March 1st, we're adding 2 more tiers for a total of 5 with tons of perks. So go check out patreon.com/thescenesnobs. And join our SnobNation Discord channel where the moderators are keeping everything going and we're having really fun conversations over there and more. So go check it out. It's free to join and just be part of the SnobNation. And remember to embrace the absurdity. Hit subscribe on our YouTube channel. We have tons of great shows coming out and more. Our lives are over on Patreon, but you can check out the SnobNation Morning Drive live show on our YouTube channel Friday, 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern, and tons more shows coming up thereafter. We have great shows like the Scene Snobs podcast, Betting Bros, Math vs. Smash, Real Combat, movie reviews, and tons more. We have fun over there, and we think you will too. If you're looking for great merch, go over to the snobsmerch.com store. Use promo code SNOBS for 10% off of your order. We have tons of shirts, mugs, everything. stickers, all different types of designs. We love it. I think you will too. So go check it out and let us know what you think. Remember to follow us on all social media platforms. We are at The Scene Snobs everywhere. You can also follow Casey at Planos21 on Instagram, at Casey the Madman on TikTok, and at Twitter Night on Twitter. Guys, tons of fun stuff and new things coming out every day, so go check out our content there. Thank you guys again. We are The Scene Snobs. Embrace the absurdity with us, and we love you, and we'll talk